What is going on, everybody? We are live. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Oh, my goodness. Well, I was at Podfest all day today. Podfest Expo. It is the major independent podcasting conference that they hold every January here in Orlando. It was my first one. I'd never been, and I said, you know what? It was 2 crummy cold days of weather. I can't work in it anyway. I said, I just went and bought a ticket and went out there, and I met a lot of people. It was really cool. And I literally got out of the hotel at 7:15, and I don't know what it is, man, but $44 for one day to park in their parking lot. And they got it blocked off where you have to put a little ticket in to get out, you know? And I went to the receptionist up there at the desk leaving. I said, I need to pay for my parking. I said, is it really $44 a day? I'm going to be here for 3 days. That's $130 for parking. She's a really sweet girl. She goes, well, we give Podfest members $25. It's half off, so it's only $25 or something like that. It's still not half off technically, but anyway, she charged my card and she goes, I'll be here tomorrow. Just come by and I'll validate it for you. She says, don't tell anybody though. So I'm like, oh, sweet. So worked out good. All right, we ready to podcast and chat? Can you hear everybody? Everybody hear us okay?
Boomer, so we're ready.
Let me make sure everybody can hear us in chat. All right. Right. Looks good. Okay. Man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Woof. Another packed show. That is for sure. All right. I am ready.
Only if you go off on sidetracks do we have a lot to talk about.
I mean, we do. We got a lot of topics to cover tonight. That's for sure. As you guys can probably tell, I got the man flu. I'm actually on the outside edge of it. The last thing to go is the throat. So I'll be a little hoarse tonight. I apologize, but can't do anything about that part. All right, let's podcast. Here we go.
Okay, I'll be a little goat tonight.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Oh, the insults are coming in already. All right. I'm just kidding. There we go. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 339 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. For those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, but we like to talk some other stuff as well relating to our hobby from time to time. We have roundtable episodes, which will become the norm in February as we are changing our format just a pinch. If you listened to last week's show, I had a little announcement at the end of the show. Turning the knobs, tweaking things a bit, hopefully, to create an even better show for you guys going forward. For those of you listening right now on the podcast platforms out there and want to check out our live shows, just go to Todd the Gator, TODDTHEGATR on YouTube, Twitch, and we also go live in our Discord stage channel, and we announce it every week so you can know when we go live in our Discord community. We got several people in the chat tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I'm looking forward to some input from you guys. Just remember, we have replays on my Twitch and YouTube channels if you happen to miss us live, and you can watch the replays. I have my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsley Mack, back with us again. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Glad to be here yet once again.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Well, in this week's show, first, we're going to check in with Bungie, see what is new, and this week in Destiny for January 15th. We'll, of course, mention the highlights only, and there's a few things we want to talk about in there. Next, it is our topic of the week, where we discuss our 2026 wish list for what we would like to see in Destiny 2. And we'll also share what our community came up with, as it was our question of the week in our Discord this week. After that, Kingsley has a discussion in the tech world that seems to be getting a lot of attention lately, so we'll get into that. As we are squarely into 2026 now, Mike and I will look for what games are set to release this year in an article from GameSpot that we are thinking about playing. And then finally, we're going to catch up with our week, take care of any housekeeping we have to take care of. We did get a lot of feedback this week about our announcement last week. I do want to address that as well. So as usual, it is a lot packed into the show tonight. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. God, I feel like a smoker. Like a smoker talking tonight. No, smokers feel. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up this week.
And I apologize for any smokers listening to the show right now.
My lights are dimming because I have them at the lowest setting because this camera is so washed out. Hold on a sec. God, I'm not happy with this camera.
What if you just didn't come back? That would have been hilarious.
I am not happy with this camera, man.
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not happy with this camera. I have an Elgato. I might try. It's not a 4K, but we'll do the best we can, I guess. All right, here we go.
What happened to the one you had? Did you give it?
No, it's the one I've always had. It's just a 1080p camera. I was wanting to go 4K to kind of, be a little more visually stunning, but
nothing happened.
No one wants to see all the imperfections in this old man's face anyway. So, okay, here we go. 3, 2. All right, this week in Destiny for January 15th, 2026. This week in Destiny, we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's as we prepare for a new Arms Week event and other in-game updates, brush up more on our new player guide documentation, and remind everyone the great cause we're pushing towards with our current Game to Give campaign, which started last weekend, by the way. Okay, let's get into it. Arms Week 3. Arms Week is back starting January 27th. That's 2 weeks from now, guys. Not 1 week. It's not next week. It'll be 2 weeks from now. And this time it's all about bows. Whether you're trying out some of the legacy bows, purchasable from Ada and the shooting range, or you're trying out one of the 2 new event weapons now available to you, this Arms Week is one to remember. In the Crucible, there will be 2 playlists available, Medieval Hardware and Rumble Hardware. Medieval Hardware is a 6v6 PvP match where only bows, glaives, and swords will be permitted. Both Rumble Hardware and Medieval campaign will also include the following modifiers. The new, the volatile mod we had last season, the seasonal mod, that'll be back. That'll be enabled. No abilities or supers will be allowed, weapons only. And say hello to 2 new weapons being added to this Arms Week. The King Orfeo, it's a precision frame arc combat bow, and the Heron, that's a great name, aggressive frame void glaive. I might be looking for that one. Also refamiliarize yourself with the returning bows, including Raconteur, Whistler's Whim, Lunanala 4B, Anamnesis, Hush, Lethophobia, Tripwire Canary, and Under Your Skin. And here's the volatile bow mods available to try out. You have Shatter Shafts, arrows and bolts split into several projectiles after a short distance, so basically a shotgun. Tungsten Bowstring, it deals increased damage at the cost of a draw time and handling. Releases an elemental explosion matching this weapon when fully drawn. Kinetic weapons release a burst of matching your equipped super. You have Jump Shot. Drawing this weapon while in mid-air triggers increased damage, faster draw time, improved target acquisition, and dramatically faster movement speed for a short time until you touch the ground. This effect is activated once per jump and becomes available again after a moment on the ground. Make sure you get your games in and experiment with all the new options at your disposal. Arms Week 3 will end February 3rd, so it's 1 week, guys. 1 week long. And remember, that's the 27th. So it's going to be a couple weeks from now. I wanted to mention they added something again in the website for new players, the new player guide. It's called the Recommended Path for New Players. We've once again released a new update to our new player guide for Destiny 2. This week brings a section detailing what content we recommend you play through if you're feeling a bit lost when following the story after diving into the world of Destiny 2 for the first time. And there's a link where you can read it. We'll continue adding sections to this guide covering everything new players need to know. All right, what is going on in Destiny 2? We have some exciting stuff happening in Destiny 2 heading into this weekend. Being this will be out on Monday, it probably will not be pertinent, but just mentioning that the weapon will still be Cataphract in Trials of Osiris, and the map will be Pacifica starting Friday the 16th, which will be tomorrow. Heavy weapon damage and ammo drops are being increased in all portal activities this week, so that includes trials. In addition, we want to highlight some details from our patch notes article. We buttoned up the overall Renegades experience by fixing some issues involving with saving and maintaining character progress throughout the campaign, implemented fixes to correct some soft locking issues found in Lawless Frontier, and pushed some changes to the Equilibrium dungeon to make the combat against Harrow Apprentice more consistent. Bungie Foundation has raised $800,000 so far for Game to Give. Remember, you can go to gametogive.com to donate today, and that's give.com, and you can get some really cool emblems. There's a lot of Destiny content creators over the next week that'll be putting on some fundraising. If you're a streamer out there and you want to go to the Tiltify link that they give you here, you can actually set it up as well. So Kingsley, what do you think, man? That's pretty much the TWAB this week. Any opinions on the Arms Week or anything coming up?
Boring. No, the Arms Week, again, it's only 1 week, so it's kind of like pointless, like especially with not much going on in the game. Super missed opportunity not having it more than 1 week. Yeah. You know what's more fun? We did raid recently. That was those exact same things: bows, glaives, and swords. And I recommend people give that a try. In fact, there's a lot of people in the Discord that would love to do that again.
Okay.
And I think shout out to Barrel Barley for having that idea. And it was fun when we did the raid. It was a Volta Glass raid.
Nice.
And let me tell you, you can actually do swords on
the
main boss. He moves around a bit and stomps. Yeah, but
what about the
well.
What about the the middle encounter, the Hydra?
No, you want to do bows on that.
Bows, okay.
If you're doing bows, swords, and glaives, but or just supers, things like that. Yeah.
I tell you what, this Arms Week will definitely be one to remember. The one to remember that Bungie needs to read the room. They need to put some kick-ass weapons in Arms Week, and a bows. I just don't know if bows are going to do it. I mean, I'm gonna.
You don't like bows.
I'm gonna jump.
Like in the Discord.
I'm gonna jump in and try to get the new glaive just so I can. When Iron Banner finally comes back around, I can, catapult Priceless off the map when I see her. But other than that, I mean,
to be fair with Arms Week, they have to go through all the different weapons. So there's going to be ones that you like, ones that you don't, for everyone at some point. So
I have like a Lunanata that has probably a good stasis build on it. I think I've got a Lethophobia with the two Void perks that work really good together. Anyway, I've got some good rolls. I keep them because you never know, just for that fact, if you guys decide to run a raid with bows only. That's a modifier, by the way, in the Grandmaster or in the Ultimate and Grandmaster solo ops or, the portal activities. It's pretty cool. I blame Kingsley. He should have set you up already for exposure and a shout out. LOL. Shun the pulse main. Bows and glaives are great. Okay, whatever. Amazing Taco King. I'm a little biased, but anyway.
And I'm fair. So Taco King, I'm fair. Yeah, even though I'm not the biggest fan of bows, I know a lot of people like them, and the few amount of times I've run them, there actually are a lot of fun because the way you have a split second before you get your shot, it gives at least me another split second to aim my shot better.
Yeah.
So I'm not just doing spray and play with an auto rifle or something like that. So it does make me think more. That's why I like hand cannons too and bows, because I actually have a second to think about my shot versus just boom, 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 and then focus on aiming afterwards,
Yeah, that's true. Player support report. It's pretty much cosmetic fixes, but there is one thing where players were encountering an endless black screen when launching into the Exodus Garden 2A Expert Lost Sector from the flag in the Cosmodrome. So I guess they're working on that. And the issue where Renegades campaign activities and Lawless Frontier jobs default to normal activity. You can still set the difficult to expert, but just remember you have to do it after every time you launch. I know it's a pain in the butt, but at least it's not stuck. And the Dawning Oven is still present in my vault. So I'm one of those people that still has a Dawning Oven staring at me, thinking I still need to make cookies. Like Pavlov's dog, see the stove and I'm like, oh, can I make some cookies? And I look at my inventory. I'm like, no. We're excited to see everyone's plans for Arms Week 3. Any specific mods you're excited to try out, or any legacy bows you're planning to fill nostalgia with, let us know. There's more fun community stuff upcoming, so keep an eye out. Destiny 2 community team. As always, thank you, Destiny 2 community team. We appreciate you checking in with us, however lightly this week.
Very light to it again.
All right, a very passionate topic of the week coming right up. Yeah,
Wait, you may have passion. What are we passionate about?
Our wish list. It's our wish list, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, you talk things up so much.
I'm telling you, my wish list, I did a lot of research on this, and I actually did some play testing this week on some of the solo stuff that I've been complaining about. Oh, I got news for you guys. I got news. I am not happy. Anyway, okay. Get to our topic of the week. All right. Yep. We're good to go. You good to go? Here we go.
Yes.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Someone's messaging me. 14 zombie? See, this is why I don't want to go to North Carolina. I'm under an ice accretion statement.
Gosh.
What the hell's an ice accretion? Until 12:30, Zach Highwind.
Yeah, those comments were a while ago.
Sorry, I'm just catching up. Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, the Heron. I got you, Zach. Repulsor brace and deconstruct. No, not deconstruction. Repulsor brace and what is it? The one that always goes with repulsor brace. Anyway, someone will think of it. I wish for new aspects for Solar Titan, Solar Hunter, and Ward Warlock. They're behind with only 3. That's all I want to see. All right, Scarlet Maddie. All right, here we go. All right, well, I think we can all agree that 2025 was a rough year for Bungie and Destiny 2, and it doesn't help the situation that Bungie is all hands on deck pretty much for the release of Marathon in March. But as I mentioned in the holiday shows with Warcry and Jealous, my worry is that Bungie will lose sight of the game that has already been a major success for nearly 12 years now, by the way, and has a loyal following still. If you haven't noticed lately, it's really tough to get into the live service gaming environment these days. Battlefield 6 had great numbers for the first few weeks, but now those numbers have plummeted to, I think, 80% less. It's really bad. For other reasons I won't get into, and that could be another topic we can even go into on that. Look at Borderlands 4. Where are the players now? You name the game other than the anomaly that is Arc Raiders, and you'll see that over 85% of the time, new entries into the live service environment have a very difficult time getting into our hobby space. You know, that space where a majority of gamers spend most of their time on those handful of games that they play every week. So with that in mind, I wanted to just present a list of things that Bungie could act on that could bring back more players, and even more importantly, keep the dedicated players that still play their game today. So I'm going to start out here, Kingsley, and we'll just go back and forth here, man. If you don't have much,
we've had this topic like 5 times last year alone.
Probably.
And now we're doing it again.
You know what? I'm just.
No, first of all,
go ahead.
I do want to say not all hands on deck are from Bungie with Marathon right now. Remember, they have 2 separate teams. Bigger issue, in my opinion, is they just need to have more employees in general.
Yes.
And or recode the engine or make a new game that it's easier to develop on. The fact that they're on such an old engine in game and they've cut their employee workforce in almost in half now, that's the main reason why we're not having as good as stuff. And if Marathon doesn't do good, do you really think all the employees are going to come back? No, probably at most like a fourth of those that were on the Marathon team.
See, that's the question.
Back, you know,
well, we'll get into Marathon because that's something I want to talk about later. But destabilizing rounds. Thank you, Amazing Taco King and Zombie. Number 1, Bungie, please. Let's just call it Bungie, please tonight, right? Why not? I'm hoping that someone at Bungie is listening, and even if they don't have any power to do anything, at least they heard it from us, right? First, more cowbell. I mean, more Iron Banner. We saw one Iron Banner event in Edge of Fate. What happened to Iron Banner coming every month? I mean, I don't play much Crucible anymore these days, but I will party up with my friends in an instant to get some really cool armor and weapons. And this is an easy grab for Bungie. So why are they not taking advantage of this right now? I mean, they're doing an arms week with bows. Come on, man. They need to bring Iron Banner at least once a month and make it a 1 week event, just like they are Arms Week in 2 weeks. But I don't understand, Kingsley. Why did they only have it one time? Was it maybe because the Dawning event got messed up that first week? Maybe it snuck out. Maybe because they extended it a week. Maybe it snuffed out what Iron Banner would be. But that's still only 2 times, man, in 3 months.
If you want to know I agree it should come more often. But if you want to know my opinion on why, if you really want an answer to that question, I think it's because twofold. They said they never want to have overlapping events anymore, and they've been adding in other things, which is good and bad. So that leaves less opportunity for Iron Banner. And then second, Crucible in general is just in a horrible state right now. So it's almost like they don't want to. They're scared. It's almost like they're not sure how things are going to go. That's my opinions, anyways. I could be totally off base.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Amazing Taco King. Number 2. And this sounds redundant, but it's true. We need more of a loot chase. We know we have too many weapons as it is. I mean, but we will always jump on to get a new gun and see how it's good in our next dungeon run, right? Tiered armor sets combined with armor set bonuses are a total win to me. So let's make some more body armor that with really cool set bonuses. It's another win that came out of the Portal Edge of Fate expansions. If we could pull something good out of that. It's another win that, I mean, they just need to keep pushing out new sets. This is a looter shooter game, so give us more loot to chase. And let me rephrase that. More loot that would make a difference. More important loot. Not just a painted gun that looks similar to something we've done before. Give us something really cool that everyone, word spreads around in the community. This thing is just killing fools, That's what we need. We need more loot like that. That will get more of your daily engagement up, I think, if there's something really people are talking about. Any comment on that?
I totally disagree on those ones. I mean, we have lots of armor sets that people are still grinding for. The weapons, there was 8 good weapons that came out in the dungeon alone. And then you have now people can always make excuses. Well, I don't like those particular weapons. I don't like those particular weapons. But we have had a lot of guns. If you make a number, total count of everything that came out, since the last update. So I don't know if I agree with that one.
Well, I'll add to it. They need to put the blasters into the whirlpool next season, because it's only in the new content right now.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the new blasters from Renegades, but it's really tough to farm them, and I'll get to that in a minute. But they need to start integrating them to the general loot table. Maybe one will drop when you kill an HVT on Cosmodrome or something. Just put it in the whirlpool, and then people will, once they see they're getting those weapons, then they might start.
Or better yet, just have targeted stuff you can do, like the Division. You can pick armor sets and weapon sets pretty much at least in 2 activities, but in almost anywhere in the game. It's not as targeted, but anyways, it's a discussion I won't go down right now. But.
I mean, Batman, I would argue there's still loot chasing out. I agree with you there. The Praxic Blade, there was a lot of repeatable stuff there where we could earn all the catalysts and the different color crystals and stuff. That's a win too. I think they did a good job on that. But the problem is that the blasters are tied only to the new content right now. And that leads me to the next thing. All right, I'm going to get up on my high horse here, Kingsley, so be prepared. They need to have more solo activities and options for solo players. As you've heard me complain of the match-made Lawless Frontier fiascos and the fact that revive tokens are still shared amongst complete strangers in this activity, I would be all over that activity if it's scaled to a solo player. Bungie needs to read the room. I would be willing to wager that a majority of players in the game right now play solo, or at least part of their play sessions play solo. Clans dissolve when friends go play other games. We see this every week from new members who come into our community. If Bungie catered more to the solo player, other than the 6 boring solo ops maps that really haven't changed for over 6 months now, it would feed into the hobby portion of this game, and that's what I am. I have to speak for myself. I am a hobby player, and I want to run things solo. I want to be able to kick my feet up after work and jump into an activity and farm some weapons and guns, and hope you're going to get a god roll so I can use it in the next raid night that comes up on Saturday. This is really low hanging fruit for me. I don't understand why Bungie hasn't hasn't done anything about this. I did want to give you an update. I jumped in and did a few tests because, I'm sitting there complaining the last couple of weeks about Lawless Frontier. And then Amazing Taco King gave me a great idea last week. He says, you know what? Just go back and replay the campaign missions again. And I played them on Legendary, and you can farm weapons that way. Well, that's exactly what I did, except I couldn't find the campaign missions. And shout out to Zombie Pops, because he stumbled upon it himself. They're not easy to find. You have to go into a sub menu in Tharsis, the Tharsis map, into the bottom left corner. It doesn't even say campaign. It just says standard missions or something like that. It's very vague. I jumped, once I clicked there, it showed, I had 2 copies of each mission that was in the campaign, the Renegades campaign I'm talking about here. And I jumped into the Legendary one, the very first one that came available. It's the one where, Bale comes out and fights Anura, but, we're escorting, spoiler alert, we're escorting, Drifter back to the ship. That one's pretty long. It's a very long story. I played through it on Legendary, worked my butt off. There was there was no timer on that one. I played it, and as I'm getting Drifter back into the ship, and Anura's fighting, and then comes back, and when the story ends, guess what? I got nothing. I didn't get any drops. What the hell, Bungie? I just played the Legendary campaign again, and I got nothing. I got 0. I looked at my inventory. I couldn't believe it. I did a double take. I went back through my inventory. Nothing new. I didn't get a blaster. I didn't get a piece of armor. I got nothing. So what I did is I said, okay, what I'm going to do now, since I've been complaining, I'm going to go back and I'm going to play the Lawless Frontier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a private game where it's just me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the difficulty from ultimate mode, because I'm at 540 light, down to expert, which I think gives me 400 power weapons, I believe. It's like straight 400 power. And let me see. I just want to give you an update on what I got playing that. I got 3 Survivor boots, 68 stats, tier 3s. I got a tier 3 Survivor helmet, 65 stat. About 100 currency at the activity end. And that's it. Oh, I got a Fast Talker, a tier 3 Fast Talker. I got a tier 5 shiny just playing the first campaign mission, when I first started the game at the beginning when it came out.
That's why the portal's horrible. The tier stuff is a fault of the portal.
This was Lawless Frontier. I went in at Lawless Frontier.
The portal, when you put it down in an expert mode, that's the fault of the portal. Yeah,
and remember, the Lawless Frontier is timed. I had 32 minutes, I think. I got it done in 21 minutes. I was hauling butt. It's a -15 modifier, which means power really doesn't mean anything. So what I said, okay, so I need to decide. I need to, Night Demon and Parody were talking about it in Two Titans this last week. They said, we really don't know where to go as a solo player, and it's so confusing to know where all the tier 5 loot is, because we're all high power now. So what I did is I then ran I'm looking for the update here. I ran a solo ops quick playlist. You told me that's really, really gives you a lot of stuff.
I set it for the seasonal activities, not for
what?
Tier stuff. If you're going to bring that up, yeah.
For what activities?
I said it's good for doing like the seasonal stuff, like when the Christmas event was around and stuff,
right.
but not for tiered stuff. So don't use that as. I didn't say it was good for that.
Okay,
that's the fault of the portal in general, not the type of activity.
Well, I went in there. I played I played the solo ops playlist. I got a B grade. I got 6 to 7 drops, mostly tier 5 weapons. I got a tier 2 and a tier 5 armor. I think it was 400 power.
Oh, so you got some tier 5s anyways. I'm surprised, actually. Yeah.
These are basically your options currently. If you do want to play solo content without sweating your ass off, because if I want to get all tier 5 weapons and high power stuff to increase my power number, I don't know why I'm worried about increasing my power number, because everything is delta based anyway. But just because I want to see number go up, I see you, Parody. I want to see number go boom. I want to see it go up. When I play on ultimate mode, it is like Sweatfest, man. You got, I don't even have to go into it. If anybody plays on ultimate mode,
portal issues.
Yeah, portal is a mess right now. Which brings me to my next point. Bungie, please.
Wait, I want to have comments on that if you don't mind. Because you said like 20 different things there.
No, go for it. Go for it.
We have more stuff that people can do solo in the game these days than when Destiny 2 first came out. Because even though the solo ops are boring, I agree, we didn't have them when Destiny 2 first came out. And we've always had strikes and things that are meant to be for 3 players. Yeah, you can go in and sweat it if you want, but they're meant for group ups. So the issue is more the modifiers and the portal that are getting in these activities, not the amount of solo activities and matchmade activities that we have. Just my opinion.
Right. Okay. That's fine. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you want to get, high powered loot, there's nowhere you can go once you get above that 500 number.
I know it's lame. It's lame. Yeah.
It's so lame.
The portal is, like I said last week, my main topic, the portal is just a failed experiment.
Well, here's the thing, Bungie, you need to, pardon my French, you need to shit or get off the pot. You need to either make solo ops more farmable with more options that we don't have to configure some crazy pain in the ass modifiers. High power does not equate to high skill. Let us farm. If I'm high power, I have no choice. If to get high power, I have to. If I want to make number go up, I have to go to get the grade. I have to get the B+ grade. And the only way I can do a B+ grade is going and doing ultimate mode. Because I tried. I went to expert and I put every modifier I could on it. The only difference was it was a -15. But it didn't have some of the crazy side things like your revives go to 0 when the timer goes away. That's one little feature they put in ultimate mode. Whereas in Grandmasters, when you however many champions you killed to get your revives built up, just in case you got into trouble at the end there, when the timer went away, it didn't matter. You still kept them. So that's a pain in the butt. Not to mention, there's so many things coming at you, man. It's just not fun. It's just not fun to play anymore. And let's face it, man, if we're soloing activities, we really just want to sit back. We want to pick our feet up. We want to grab a beer after working all day. And we just want to chill out and shoot aliens and get some good gear for it. And not to sound like a crybaby here, but I'll run the portal events on ultimate mode. I'll do it. I usually do it once, a couple 3 times a week, but it's not fun. It's a total buzzkill, and it makes me sometimes I look at it and I'll go, no, I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. So anyway, yeah, I mean, so solo ops has to be fixed. Because I hate to tell you, but most of the players, other than our meetups, like, and there's people who join streamers all day, like Astrocross and stuff, that play 6-man activities all day long, but it's not the norm, man. A lot of people's friends have gone away, and if they're a hobby player like I am, they're grinding out those weekly challenges, they're grinding out those Vanguard orders, and I just got another exotic one, by the way, it just says exotic drop. It doesn't say what it's going to be, but I got to get like a million sword or melee kills without dying, which basically what I'm doing is I'm just going to Nessus and I'm just going into Ori, the lost sector, and just killing a bunch of stuff and going to orbit, killing a bunch of stuff, going to orbit. And it is so freaking taxing. It's taken forever to get done. But anyway, so solo ops, and you've already mentioned in the past that the portal's got a lot of work to do on the portal. And, I honestly think that Bungie doesn't even know what they want to do right now. I just have that inkling because they haven't really communicated much to us. I just wonder if they really have a clue how they're going to fix this. I don't know. I'm just curious.
Of course they don't. They spent so much time on the portal.
Yeah.
And
they really gambled on it, didn't they?
I don't like using the word scared, but like ever since they found out that people didn't like it and there was so many problems with how it worked, Remember, it was like 50% people didn't like it, 50% technical problems. Remember,
Oh yeah.
we remember how much it was a joke for a long time, like things weren't even working. But they are in a really bad spot now because they tried something so big that I bet they were working on this from at least Final Shape, maybe even a little bit before.
Yeah.
Like they don't can't swap something in anytime soon. Like so, it's like what can they do? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I bet they're scared crazy right now. Like, what can they do
They're
instead?
probably
Now they've been making small changes
they're
and
probably
stuff,
going to the
but
whiteboard. They're just I've got a blank whiteboard. They're just going, okay, guys,
well,
we need ideas.
yes,
What
you
can we
can
do?
write a million ideas on the board,
Yeah.
but what can they practically
Do
do?
do.
What can they technically do?
Sure.
In the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The fourth thing I think they would be on my wish list, and I've mentioned it in past shows, so I'll mention it again in case Bungie's listening. Crucible needs a bot trainer with rewards for time played. So many Guardians out there don't jump into the Crucible because they have limited amount of time, and when they do get to play it, they get teabagged by players who live in the Crucible. So do what Call of Duty's been doing for decades by providing a training ground so that less experienced PvP Guardians can jump in and improve their aim, their map awareness, and use radar against bots with adjustable difficulties. You can have a slider, and as you get better, start moving the slider up till they're one-shotting you in the head. As I mentioned in past shows, in my early days playing the COD scene, I would jump into a new multiplayer map all by myself, and I would learn about it while playing against bots for practice. A shooting range isn't going to cut it. I mean, it's really nice to get damage numbers easily and in a convenient place, but give us a live environment where we can put our skills to the test. As Guardians get more confident in their play, they're more apt to jump into real games to see how they stand up against fellow players. But have a safe environment to get proficient at new weapons and builds. I mean, we're always testing stuff, right? Wouldn't it be nice to go into a map on Crucible with Crucible damage numbers and have bots in there that you can practice against? You really can't do that in PvE because the numbers don't correlate. Everything is totally different when it comes to Crucible. Everything is scaled differently. So I just think that'd be nice to have. Do I think they're going to do it? Absolutely not, because they haven't even added a Crucible map in I don't know how long. So
Yeah. Was this topic what we just want them to add forever or for 2026?
for
I forget what
2026, I
the.
mean, I'm literally,
Okay.
and I know
Okay.
when I even talked to you
So you
about this.
actually think all this will come for 2026?
Well, this is my hope that they're going to do something
Gotcha.
drastic here to
Gotcha. Yeah.
to get things turned around on Destiny 2 because I love playing the game. More PvP maps, Copium enabled. I freely admit that's not going to happen probably. And going back to my test I did, have us replayable campaign. Once we complete it, like I said, I had the hardest time finding the campaign missions to begin with within a submap of Renegade submap. I played the Destiny game since 2014. I couldn't find the replayable missions until, like I said, Zombie Pop showed me. Had a hard time finding them also. And like I said, I jumped in there and I got 0 rewards for it. I don't know if that's a bug or because I've run the mission already that it's just not giving me gear anymore. They need to have it where we can repeat those missions as many times as we want to farm, because that's the only other way you can farm blasters if that isn't a bug and you're supposed to get rewards. So I don't know. I thought that'd be good. Have that more easy to get to. One more thing I had, and I'll quit talking and let you talk, Kingsley. I think it's time we need to bring back the daily story missions like they did in Destiny 1. First, what it would do, it would bring back some nostalgia and appreciation of past content that we haven't played in a while. And second, it could present a new daily loop that, of course, it has to be rewarding with high-powered loot, and gear. Otherwise, I mean, it'll just go the way of patrols. It will be there yet another part of the game that no one plays anymore because there's no value. There's no incentive to do it. And this could tie into my earlier wish list of making D2 a hobby game. So, that's all I got. What else do you?
Yeah, I love the last one
Yep.
because they kind of had that at one point, and this is something again. Also, the Division 2 has always had is like rotating daily missions, weekly things like that.
Yeah.
But they can't bring it into the portal again because another problem with the portals, they have to test all the modifiers for all this stuff, and they don't have time to test every single old mission that's ever been around. But that's okay. Don't put it in the portal. Have it be a separate area.
And
and have it be a new promoted thing, and then just say, here's the daily mission. It gives you all this good stuff. Yeah.
And a shout out again to Parody. I was listening to Two Titans last week, and he said, it'd be nice if I'm a max power player and I do the dungeon and I got tier 3 gear. Come on, man. If you put in the time, you should get tier 5 stuff. And I mean, the dungeon's not a slouch. It's not a easy. I mean, I think it's an easier dungeon compared to the others, but it's still a major activity, and it's the feature for this season. So, I mean, I admit I've gotten tier 3 gear, and I'm almost max power. So, this is a shout out to
Gotten a
Parody.
fair amount of tier 5, actually. I'm pretty happy with how the system works. Yeah.
Okay.
It is RNG based, but I would say I get tier 5 stuff at the least 25% of the time. And
Okay.
if you run the dungeon fairly often, that's pretty good odds.
Okay.
Without having to do the extra feats. Now, that being said, again, all this is going to be changing soon because we're going to have ways to upgrade the tiers, and the portal more and more is going away all the time because people don't like it. So a lot of the things you say don't really matter so much because more and more of the portal's changing and the tiers can be upgraded.
I mean,
come March.
The raid gear, it's pathetic. You get I've got nothing above tier 4 in the raid. Nothing. I've not gotten any tier 5 stuff in the raid. That's not going to make people want to play the raids. So I play it because of the company.
Yes, oh, come on. There's a lot of us that love playing the raids, even the old ones that don't give us any good loot.
Yeah. Well, one of our members mentioned something about that. What's up, Moose and Squirtle? How you doing, man? Thanks for showing up tonight, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. If people only like to play raids because of the loot, then they're going to leave anyways once they get it. So
I don't know but no. I used to grind to try to get the Galahorn or the Vex Mythoclast to drop back in the day. I mean, there's reasons to play it. I mean, I still don't have my Whirlwind, whatever it's called.
I said if people are only playing the raid because of the loot, they're going to leave once they get it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, once they get that. Yeah.
Anything else on your list? I know you said we've beaten this horse a lot.
I actually have 2 new ideas, not stuff we've talked about.
2 new ones.
Before.
Bring it.
And also, I'm more realistic on this because we talked about what I'd like to see in 2026. I'm not going to be saying, "Oh, Destiny 3 coming out next month" or something unrealistic,
Sure.
But 2 ideas. Well, actually, one idea other people have had too, so this isn't original. But my other idea is a little more original. It's just going off as something they should have done in the first place. But the easy one is all the old raids, have it be updated with dropping all the stuff that people like, the power level, whatever, at least the tiers within respect to what we're getting right now. But of course, March, again, it won't matter. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. But here's what you do. All the old raids will drop stuff, but all the old ones, except for the newest raid, will have a loot pool that you can pick when you go into it. Again, other games do this. So even if we're playing Vault to Glass, but we want to maybe get other stuff, since it's all old raids together, you can pick the loot drops that you want. Now, everyone's instant, so it's not like it's going to be for the whole team. But let's say people want to run Deepstone Crypt because it's one of the easier raids, or Vault to Glass. Now I could see this backfiring. People are like, oh, let's just only run the easiest raid. So you can tweak it some, maybe only let people do that, on their first or second run, but at least have a shared. So maybe you can't focus, but at least a shared loot pool. All the old raids have all the old weapons together. So you don't know what you're going to get, but it's going to be all the old stuff together, but updated with current power and current tiers.
I like that idea.
So that's one thing that I would like to see in 2026. It'll get people playing more.
I like it.
And then the other thing is, actually, I do think they need to fix and do a lot more with solo ops. And I know you're probably all excited, but it's really just fixing the stuff they said they were going to do in the first place.
The stuff they showed in the developer updates.
Solo ops, remember, people, was also supposed to be, if you wanted to go in on a harder version with the team, solo ops could also be run with the team. They don't have that. Also, solo ops were supposed to be more roguelike, where you could go in and they were different each time, like a different hallway you would go down. I remember those specific words, and then seeing and can you imagine something more like the Infinite Forest or something, where you're doing it and it's kind of different. Kind of like things like the Summit or the Descent in the Division, where they're kind of different on different levels and things like that. So if they could make more variability in the solo ops and allow a solo op optional, not required, but optional to come in with the team. That's what I'd love to see for 2026.
Amazing Taco King, wouldn't adding all raids to be customized in the portal like dungeons make it to where you can do the loot drop opt in or out?
Yeah, something
Think
like
about.
that. I don't really care the details.
Okay.
Those are great. I'm sure some people have better details than me, and that's a good idea.
Okay.
But yeah, just some kind of way of updating the loot to make it more meaningful. Either a shared pool with all the raids together, or you can pick it, you can focus it. Lots of good ideas there.
Well, speaking of great ideas, that was our question of the week this week. It was what would be on your checklist, and I just want to share a few of them that are actually our outstanding community gave us a lot of good ideas. I want to start with Zach Highwind because he put this in the Destiny channel. I want to make sure I mention some of them. He says Kepler, Dreadnought, and an updated Destiny 1 Mars Patrol Zone added to the director. Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Spire of Stars, Crown of Sorrow, and Scourge of the Past return to the updated loot. New supers and abilities for all current subclasses. Okay, now, keep your pants on. We can't ask too much of them here, but it's possible. Maybe some new aspects and fragments, maybe. Sparrow Racing League, I'm not even going to go there. Rebuild the Crucible from the ground up. Man, that's copium there, buddy. I wish. Man, I'd be there. I'd be there on day one. Bring Venus back. Amen, brother. Make patrolling worthwhile again. This guy is on my level, man. New weapon foundries. That's a good idea. Make all exotic missions available from the director and use them to update the loot from the season's episodes they're from, and update past raid and dungeon loot to have their tiers. Yeah, we just talked about that. Zombie Pops also had some input here. First, fix the portal. Second, bring back the vaulted Destiny 2 raids. I'm sure it wouldn't be easy, but I don't think it's impossible. And third, help out PvP. I don't really play if I think it would help them bring back some people. Zariel said, I greatly dislike the portal. I expect to play the next major release, but I'm finding it very hard to justify logging in every day to click a few glorified menu buttons. My playtime is down to almost nothing lately, and at this point I can't see how they fix it without completely abolishing it. I know that won't happen, and I honestly can't think of what they can do to make me want to play more. Do you want to say something there? Just agreeing?
No, I was just saying, I don't know how they can fix it either without completely abolishing the portal. I think they were testing kind of with the Vanguard alerts areas, kind of like still portal-esque, but a slightly different idea. Mm-hmm. So maybe they can kind of fix it that way, but I don't know, man. It might just be okay, just getting rid of it and us going back to the map.
Then what are we going to play? When am I going to play for my hobby?
Well, no.
Yeah.
All the stuff is still there on the map anyways. They
True.
just need to, bring the weapons over there.
Barrel Barley 406. These are mostly quality of life little things. A customizable waypoints on the map, a zoom function on the map, proximity chat on free roam would also be pretty cool. Okay, better loot in this lost. I think he said lost secrets. I think he meant lost sectors. Yeah, man. I jump into lost sectors and I played one on Legend, and you get very little, nothing like you used to. More public events that happen in free roam that give good loot. Giving good loot being the thing to say there, because I still love playing the public events with people, especially if I see they're level 1 or 2 where they're just learning, and I'm trying to teach them how to do the heroic versions.
And would you love it also if the public events you could focus weapons ahead of time?
Oh, hell yes.
Wouldn't that be cool? Well, guess what game can do that?
Are we just going to start playing
like 10 times tonight?
I think we're going to just start playing Division soon. I know you're in love. All right, Eagle the Gray.
No, I still like Destiny better with with raids and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny. It's a case study of two games that just loot systems could be so much better in Destiny. They really could.
I hear you. Eagle the Gray, I don't see him much in chat here, but he said a ping system. Crucible investment, maybe find ways, make maps quicker, like the domes over the 1v1 invasions could be used in a ton of places to spin up maps from existing places in the game. More in-game ornament chases, I hear you, man. Like the Praxic Blade crystals. Tweak or remove the rad feat system. But expand tiered loot to existing raids and dungeons. Yep, we've talked about that several times. Find some way to clear up vault space. For weapons, as asked since time began, but mainly for armor, with armor sets being time-gated and coming fix, quote unquote, that will probably be too grindy and not want to save armor. It's brutal how much space armor has begun to taking up, and it's taken up my vault, that's for sure. Happy armor is finally valuable enough to care, but makes the vault space issue more apparent even with the increase in game filtering. Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I got all my weapons down to 300 and I got rid of all. That's including getting rid of all of my exotics because I could just pull them back up. But yeah, I'm noticing the gear sets are adding up. They're starting to pile up.
Another thing that would be nice since we're getting gear sets now
Mhm.
is it's one thing to have a vault full of different gear sets, but imagine if you could pick the other perks like more deterministically. Like, yeah, you
Oh,
can kind of focus,
yeah.
I want super and grenade, right? Kind of, but it doesn't always work perfectly. But let's say you got a gear set and it was actually health and weapons and you didn't like those stats. What if you could swap those out?
That's great.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Heck yeah, man.
Guess what game can do that?
Here we go. You just set.
I'm
you,
loving this. This is
You're
hilarious.
just setting up
But
this.
it's true.
I'm just throwing the
It is
softball
so
out
true.
there, and you're just whacking it over the fence.
Batman can back me up on everything I'm saying.
All right, okay.
All this is true.
Zariel had a few more things to say here. Real quickly here. I still think the Red War was ideal for its time. Maybe asked to unvault it a bit much. I think with a lawsuit and stuff, I don't think that's going to happen. Bring back crafting. Amen, man. Bring back crafting, but in a different form. Collecting red borders isn't enough. I believe Todd mentioned in a previous podcast episode, but something like Call of Duty's Armory, where you need to do certain task missions and objectives with the base gun equipped, or you can't select a perk until you get it from RNG version of the gun first. So there's your loot chase right there. Something besides a free max level gun. Make us earn those crafted benefits, and if we want to pull from collections, we can reselect any perks we've already unlocked without needing to regrind. Yeah, Zach,
Yeah, that's a big one we both agreed on. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree 1,000%. And
Yeah.
the devil will be in the details, but like, yeah, don't just have it be where you just
Yep.
shoot and grind that way. Either have it be you earn the perks RNG, but then you get to keep them forever and pull them out and put them back in, or little missions and side quests, like he said. Although I could see that one, a lot of people not liking, like you're like, oh, well, this mission's really hard to get this perk.
I
or
don't mind doing
something,
hard
but-
missions as long as they pay, as long as I get paid. Got to get me paid, man.
Well, and if they let you get to keep the perk permanently, so it
Yeah.
might be worth it then, right? So you
Yeah.
only have to do it once. So.
Amazing Taco King, Titan Forging from WoW, Kingsley. Yeah, something like that.
Well, I don't know WoW, but yeah, sounds good.
Well, I want to just thank our community. I know it's a low time for Destiny right now. I really appreciate everyone who gave us some input on the question of the week. I know
Yeah,
a lot
good
of you
input,
probably
everyone.
are tired of hearing about this. This is our last ditch effort. This is our last ditch effort to throw something out to Bungie, and maybe someone will hear this and think, that's a good idea. I think we can make that happen. So I figured, you know what? Release it into the ether, and let's just see what happens, right? So this will probably be the last show where we're talking about stuff we want on Destiny 2 this year. But I want to at least mention it here before we start switching formats and stuff. So
And honestly, I think Bungie knows most of these things.
Think
It's
so?
not like they never read forums when people talk. All these ideas are not 100% new. Like if you scour like
Yeah.
forums and other YouTube videos and things like that, and it's just what can they do? And so they have to prioritize, what they can do. And I know we're going to see some good quality of life things because there always is within a year's period
Yeah.
of time. But it's all these ideas that we threw out, if I have to be realistic, maybe 5 to 10% of them will happen. So I don't know, man.
Bungie, Shadow and Order needs to be not an Ashen Iron. It needs to be bigger than that. It really does. And I know you guys are busy. I know you guys are trying to figure out what to do now. I'm just talking openly here, but I get it, man. I do. Okay. We have a bonus topic of the week coming right up. Awesome. Good combo, man. Thanks. All right.
Yeah.
You ready to dive into your thing? I'm going to just throw the
Oh, yeah.
bone. throw the talking stick your way, and we'll get into it. I've got a few things I want to mention in it too, but all right, here we go. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. All right, as an extra little bonus topic tonight, Kingsley mentioned something he wanted to talk about this week, and I'm going to just pass the talking stick over to you, Kingsley. What do you got on your mind tonight?
All right. Actually, sorry, is this about the video games or about the RAM stuff? I'm sorry.
The tech article.
Stuff. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yes. So I know this has been something that a lot of people have heard, but I wanted to kind of give an update on it, and I don't know what can be done, and I hope things get better, but it could be a while. But I'm sure everyone's heard about RAM prices going up. A lot's happened since that. I mean, that was even happening middle to late last year, and it's just gotten worse and worse over time. The thing that really makes me mad is all this can be blamed on the overdoing of AI right now. I'm not saying AI is a bad idea, not saying we shouldn't use it in any aspect. But what's happening basically is the large companies are gobbling, especially the data centers where all the AI processing is happening, are gobbling up all the RAM out there. And now it's starting to go over to other areas too. And it's making it so that consumers cannot get RAM for any reasonable price anymore. You may have heard this thing about DDR5 RAM. Well, it's
Yes.
basically jumped up hundreds of percent.
Quintuple.
Especially if you want to, especially if you want anything over 16 gigs.
Yeah.
People have started reverting down to slightly slower RAM called DDR4 RAM. Well, guess what? That's starting to have issues now too, because not as much, but it's starting to have issues also because the demand is going there. So, if you're trying to build a PC or need RAM, you can kind of go for a DDR4 type board, but since everyone's doing that now, it's a little hard there. Well, guess what? It gets worse. It's now hopped over a little bit into solid state memory also, which is very similar to
What?
RAM. It's not exactly the same as RAM. If anyone wants to know, it's like RAM is like totally volatile memory. So that means as soon as power is not going to it, like you restart, turn off your computer, everything gets erased. But then it's the fastest thing out there.
Are you talking about
Solid
NVMe?
state
You're talking
drives.
about the built-in drives that go into the
Not
boards?
yet. I wasn't. I was talking about what RAM
Sorry.
was. Now I'm going
Sorry.
to get back to. Now I'm going to get back. Yeah. NVMe solid state drives
Right.
are slightly slower than RAM, but that's where storage goes these days in your computer. You store your files on a solid state drive, SSD. NVMe is just a type of SSD. It's
Right.
the newest type.
Right.
But because SSDs are similar to how RAM works, they use some similar chips, not exactly the same. And you need SSDs in these data farms too, not as much as RAM, but you still need them. Well, guess what? I am mad. SSD price has now been going up a lot. I'll give you an example here. Let's say, and you did this good, Gator, like what, 6 months, a year ago when you upgraded I know you
Yeah.
got a PS5 Pro also, but remember you upgraded your
Timing's perfect.
regular PS5
Yep.
with more storage?
I got
Okay.
a 3080 and I've got 32, I think, of DDR5. I think.
No, I'm talking about PS5 now.
Oh, my
for-
PS5 Pro. Yeah. I paid
Yeah.
$5. I can't remember. I was on sale.
Well, I know you paid more for yours anyways than you should have, but I could have
Yeah.
helped you with that. But
Yeah.
for an example, before about November-ish or so, 2 terabytes of solid state, do you know how much it should have cost? Right around $100 to $125
Okay.
for 2 terabytes.
Right.
Well, today it's about 250. So it went from about 100 to 125 all the way up to about 250.
Question is because I'm not really tech savvy here. Is it an NVMe that's in the PS5?
Yes.
Oh, no
Yes.
shit. I thought it was just a regular SSD.
No, it's NVMe. And so pretty much everything made within the past 5 years
Okay.
uses NVMe.
Okay.
So don't worry about that so much. But so yeah, PC or PS5 or this or that, people want to upgrade their storage. They were just worried about RAM, but now people are starting to pay the higher prices for storage also. But wait, there's more. The latest update is that CPUs are going to start getting more expensive now.
Great.
Now, it hasn't hit the PC like the AMD Intel CPUs yet, but I think it will soon because I just saw some news. that the ARM-based chips, which are made in a lot of the Android phones, Apple phones, and of course the Apple computers,
Mhm.
through a big company called TSMC in
Mhm.
Taiwan.
Mhm.
Well, they just told Apple and another company that even though Apple used to be their biggest customer, they're like, sorry, we're getting more on AI now. And they
Mhm.
just told Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world, that they're going to be raising their prices on CPUs. And so that's a canary in the coal mine type of situation there. So that's going to be coming really soon to Intel and AMD also.
I would tell people to
So
start
we
buying
already,
computers now, but it's probably too late, isn't it?
yeah, I'm going to get to that in a
Okay,
second. But
sure.
so it started with RAM,
Right.
then it went to SSDs, and it's
Basically,
going
all
to
the
be going to
components
CPUs.
of a computer,
Yeah,
almost all.
yeah. Now there's still a chance CPUs won't get hit as much,
Mm.
but there's definitely some concern. I mean,
Jeez.
yeah, the best time to have built your computer was 6 months ago or earlier. The second best time is maybe today if you can still afford it. Otherwise,
It's only going to get
guess how
worse.
long we're looking at with some estimates before RAM
I'm gonna
shortages will be
I'm gonna
fixed.
say 3 years.
That's about right. I'm seeing like 2028.
I've been hearing a lot of news on it. I've been researching it out a little bit too. 2028.
2028. Yeah. And you know why it is? It's because, to be fair, I mean, they are building some more factories that can fab RAM. Micron says we have one that we've been working on for a couple years. It's being spun up, and I believe it was even Idaho. There's a couple other RAM factories being built, but they take a few years to build and then even another year to test. So the quickest anyone thinks we're going to really ramp up production would be late 27, early 28. That's the quickest. Now, another thing could happen, and I want to hear any other thoughts that you may have, but it could be that AI demand goes down a little bit by later this year. It could
Mm.
be that it evens out. Like, okay, people are using it, but not as much as we thought, and then the data centers have bought up everything they need, and then a few months after that, then people can start getting RAM at normal prices again. But if it keeps building up, we are looking like 2028 before prices are going to get better again.
Well, I can tell you this. I think one of the reasons why there's this chain of events with computer pricing is NVIDIA made a deal. They've actually, and it's, I guess it's smart, I guess, but you know, the new chat GPT, the new Claude, the new AI companies that are evolving. What is it? The
Yeah,
big, I think it's the
Gemini.
big,
Yep.
is it the big three? I think the big
Gemini
three.
is one of the big ones. And by the way, also Apple just announced 2 days ago they're teaming up with Gemini, which
Gemini.
is huge
I heard
news
that.
with Google. Yep.
They better because I'm sorry. I got
Oh
the
yeah,
iPhone.
their Siri
It's
sucks.
brutal.
They
It's,
admit it finally.
I
Yeah,
asked Siri
Apple's going to
something
be
and she
starting
goes,
using
would you
Gemini.
like me to use ChatGPT? I'm like, well, yeah.
Well, that'll be fixed by this summer, supposedly.
Jeez.
I think it's actually really good. They teamed up with Gemini instead of
Yeah.
ChatGPT, but that's a different topic.
Yeah,
But, yep.
and Amazing Tycoon brings it up. He talks about the bubble. We've all talking about the AI bubble. I really think the rise of AI right now has propped up Wall Street. A lot of investors are investing heavily in this. And I think it's the reason why our economy is still not showing signs of getting into a recession. But what happened is this is what I heard, I think, on the Scott Galloway, one of Scott Galloway's podcasts. He said that that NVIDIA actually invested in the AI companies, and the AI companies reinvested and promised sales from NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's got their hands full with demand right now. And I think, you know, us little gamers, we're not part of the big pie anymore. And it's just trickling down that we're not in the mainstream supply chain anymore. And I don't know, man. I don't know where AI is going to be going soon. All I know is I bet you everybody in this chat tonight uses it. And I couldn't say that a year ago. A year ago, I'd say AI, I'm not using it. Now, every time I get on Google, I'm going in AI mode when I Google anything now. So I'm using it because I get really quick results. And not only do I get quick results, it actually gives me the websites I can go to double check the accuracy of the data and stuff. I like that about Gemini. But I don't know, man. I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. So I think you're right. I think it's going to be several years before they can catch up with with demand. And maybe the way
AI
to
has so
go,
many. Good.
I'm sorry, maybe the way to go will be to buy pre-built computers, because maybe that's where they can have sales and deals and save money on other components to offset that, but console prices are going to go up. Everything's going to go up in price. So see, here's the reason I thought this was a good story tonight when you mentioned it, is because I just found out that Steam hit its highest record-breaking sales in December. $1.6 billion they made in the month of December alone. That's 23% better than the same time last year. And there were over 100 million players that purchased games on Steam in that month. And I think they said the Steam winter sale might have had something to do it, contribute to it, but they have that every winter. They have a sale. I don't know if that was a big mover or not, but I think the rise of PC gaming, I think there's going to be a clash here. And I think Steam might be, if I was investing in Steam right now, or what, it's not Steam, it's the company that's behind it, Valve. If I was investing in Valve right now, I might want to take a pause, because if we start getting problems where PCs aren't comparable to consoles anymore, consoles may actually start becoming the norm. Or people will just say, listen, I got a 5-year-old console, works just fine. I'm just going to go back and play games on that again. And then they got the new Steam computer coming out soon. I'm really curious how that's going to affect prices too of what I'm thinking. If they were smart, Kingsley, what they would do is sell that Steam, that little Steam cube, sell that little portable PC at a loss. Let it be a loss leader like PlayStation's done for so many years, because they're going to get oodles and oodles. They'll be totally enclosed in the Steam ecosystem, where all they can do is buy Steam games, to put into this computer. I don't know, man. I think there may be a showdown soon.
Yeah, sorry to say it, but I guarantee console prices are going up too. Guarantee.
Yeah. I think everything's going to go up in price because of supply and demand issues. Yeah. But I mean, compared to computers have always been higher than consoles. And I think computers might take another quantum leap here if it's all about, I mean, let's face it, computers use more RAM sticks than a console, right?
Yeah, because they're better. That's why they're more expensive.
Of course,
they can do more.
I know, of course, they can multitask and do a lot of stuff, but I don't know, man.
And play better games.
I think people might just say, listen, I'm going to have to pump the brakes on buying a PC. I'd love to buy a PC. People, I look at our Gen Zs right now. I look at people like my son and my daughter. They're both Gen Z, barely, but they're Gen Z. And I don't know how they can afford a house. So they probably rent. And then they say, if we can't get a house, then let's buy a nice car. Well, I don't know if you've been looking around lately. My next work truck's going to be $100,000, and that's a basic truck. It's a heavy duty truck, but it'll be about $100,000. I don't know how any kids are going to be able to afford a nice car. So the last thing they might fall back to as a luxury item is the PC. And if PC prices start going up, I don't know what they're going to do, man. People may just pay it.
But console prices are going to go up too. So nothing's changing here. PCs have always been more expensive than the consoles.
Yeah.
And both will go up in price, and they will still be more expensive because they can do more.
Yeah.
So are these kids that don't have a lot of money going to be able to afford a console that's $600 or $700? That's also the question,
That's my point, is they'll say, that old PS4 sitting in my living room, yeah, I'm just going to play games on it for a while until I can think about how to get a PC. I think it may stall things.
And it's the same thing with PCs too. Like a lot of people have older PCs that were $600 when they built them, and they haven't upgraded them because of prices and stuff. So it's really not so much that, but yeah. Now pre-builts, I do agree, help a little bit with pricing, because you can work out deals a little ahead of time, but they don't last forever. Again, this is what TSMC was just talking to Apple about.
Right.
Apple, even though they're a little more expensive, they usually never raise prices year after year for their computers, and you're always getting a better computer because they make better stuff in it. So if you think about it, over the long run, Apple, for cost of living, has generally gotten cheaper, their devices, but this might be changing sometime soon here, because if they start having to raise their price because of things like that. But yeah, the pre-builts, I was looking at a YouTube video where you can still get, I like following, his name is PC Builder on
Mhm.
YouTube. Anyone check out that channel if you want to see good builds and stuff.
Okay.
And he was listing a lower end PC that was about 800. So that's just a little bit more than a console,
Mm.
especially if you're comparing to like a PS5 Pro. And but it's still better than a PS5 Pro. But a lower end PC for 800 or 900 used to be like 500 or 600. So that's just kind of showing, how prices have gotten crazy and stuff. And
Mm.
the lower end ones, again, if you try to do like 16 gigs of RAM, you're still kind of okay, but that's not future proofing you at all. You need 32 for long run. So you just got to hold off now instead of getting that 32 gigs of RAM.
What's up, Berserker? Hey, he says on his iPhone, I think I'm assuming he's saying iPhone, that his AI works pretty good on it. If it's an iPhone with the new AI, quote unquote, like I got the 16 Pro here, the 16 Pro, the AI, when I was so excited about using it, you know what I do? I don't even ask Siri anymore, Kingsley. I go right to Google, I go right to Gemini app, and I just pull up Gemini app and ask.
Yeah, he could mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
He could mean just the Gemini within the browser on the phone.
Yeah.
That's also using AI technically.
Yeah, I mean, I use
So,
most of my AI, like if I'm trying to put an outline together for some ideas about a show or something. Gemini's fantastic, man. Or if I want to look up, what's the? I think I've speculated. I said, what do we speculate that the solo player base for Destiny 2 is? And it gave me some articles to look at and see how they put those numbers together. And it was about as accurate as you could get without reported numbers on a lot of things. So, but whatever.
yeah, Gemini is great.
Okay.
Yeah, Gemini is great. And
Oh, he's got a Nokia.
so now, Taco King, I don't think you can have indie or smaller companies making RAM. I could be wrong. Let me know if you know something different, but
RAM.
RAM is a hard thing to make. You need a big company like Micron or something.
I remember they were going to build one in. I think Frostbite actually got a job as an intern at the Arizona NVIDIA plant, and he got laid off. And I think they
NVIDIA is totally different than RAM.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's GPUs.
You're talking about GPUs,
Yeah.
CPUs. Gotcha.
I was talking about RAM now again. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well,
But
okay.
regardless, RAM, CPUs, and graphics cards are all kind of,
Well,
you kind of have to be a big company to make that. And any of these factories take like
you have
3 to
clean
5 years
rooms.
minimum to build.
Yeah.
And then they need like testing for like another year.
I think they need like really like super clean rooms and stuff too, right? It's like really high tech stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's expensive.
So that's why it takes the 3 to 5 years. Yeah.
I think that's why NVIDIA stopped construction. I think it was last year or before. They were going to make a new factory, and they decided not to, I guess, or at least delay it.
So TLDR, and on one other point that you were making, we all use AI, but also the AI that we use, typical consumers use, like the Google Gemini or maybe some Chat GPT, for the most part, that's built out already. But AI is still growing because they want to do new things. They want to have other ways of doing AI. It's being used more in the government. It's being used to like create creative stuff. That's where I think we're getting a little out of hand. Like we could still even just turn off all AI right now, or at least slow it down. And I think being a little bit better of a state, because AI is already pretty working okay right now. And I just wish all the resources weren't going as fast as it was going.
Yeah.
It just needs to slow down a little bit, in my opinion.
Okay. I think you kind of said the TLDR. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that just shows how much technology I have. I know enough to say something stupid like NVIDIA makes RAM. So I guess they don't. So I thought they did. Anyway.
They make graphics cards.
GPUs. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
And yes, there is RAM on the graphics card, but they probably get that RAM from someone else.
Outsource. Sure they do. Yeah. All right. We have one question from our community. We'll do that real quick, and then we have a games we are looking forward to in 2026. So we'll be right back. I got to clear my throat. Sorry, guys. I mean, cough into the mic. I'm at the end of a man bug. and the throat's the last thing to clear up. Got a little tiny little bit of junk and cough still, so I've been fighting it. In fact, that was funny. I was at Podfest today and I wasn't talking to anybody. I was saving my voice for tonight. I was like, can't talk. Hey, how you doing? What do you do? Gaming podcast. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this question out of the way. I might have an answer for it. But Mr. Dead Rabbit had a question here. Let's get into it real quick and then we'll get into our games.
Sounds good.
All right. For a question of the week, or I'm sorry, for a question of the show, this is where our community posts questions for us to answer. And we only have one question this week. Guys, what's going on? Start throwing some more questions out to us. We'd be happy to answer them. It doesn't even have to be about gaming or whatever. It can be just, hey, what's your favorite breakfast item? I think you know what that is. Anyway, it's from Mr. Dead Rabbit. He says, if I remember correctly, Shadow and Order is supposed to rework the tiers for exotics. That's right. If they were to implement a new way of obtaining exotics, which they won't, what would be a more satisfying way of getting them than completing a campaign or a battle pass? Do you want to think about that and let me answer, or do you want to field it, Kingsley?
Go ahead and go first.
I thought, he put this question in just a day ago, I think. I think maybe implement more exotic Vanguard orders. As we do more Vanguard orders, which I love doing those, by the way. That's a total win for me in Destiny 2 right now. It's what keeps me playing as a hobby every week. And of course, my weekly track, they give a lot of good rewards, so it's worth it to me and my time. I think, you'll get a better chance the more you complete to get a legendary one, which can give you new seasonal mods, which are very rare right now. I've only gotten one. But I did get another exotic, whatever you want to call it, exotic Vanguard order. And I think if they encapsulated the new system for our new exotics, I'm assuming the exotic, is it exotic armor or exotic weapons and armor that they're supposed to rework for Shadow and Order? I think it was just the exotic armor, I believe.
Okay, on that point, I don't remember anything. And in fact, I just looked up something here that someone claims the official statement from Bungie was that they will not be able to implement that during the full year of Prophecy.
Oh, that's not good.
So my guess is this wasn't coming into
maybe until the Alchemist
July with the next expansion.
Okay. Well, I think if they did, to answer his question, I think that would be a really good way to do it, because one, it would increase the weekly play, because you would basically get your regular Vanguard orders done, so you can get a better chance of getting that exotic. Now, keep in mind, I've only gotten 2 exotics since Renegades, when the new Vanguard orders system came into place. I think they would have to have them drop more frequently for that to work, for people to be able to farm it. But that's the way I think they could implement the new tier exotics. Think of that'd be such an easy way to play anything in the game, by the way. Even if you want to go run patrols, you're still getting those auto rifle kills to complete the Vanguard order. That's a win. You can play anything in the game. You can go play an old raid. It will still count. Anything you play in Destiny 2 will count toward the Vanguard order. So yeah, put them in the Vanguard order system. That would be a real easy way to get those, if in fact they are coming in Shadow and Order. We haven't been, as Kingsley just mentioned, that hasn't been confirmed. So,
well, yeah, I guess this could be 2 different questions. Is it just getting any exotics or getting the new version of exotics? Because I still get exotics pretty regularly, actually, dropping, just doing random stuff. If we're talking about when they do come out with the new tiered exotics,
right?
Who cares when? Let's say it's March, but maybe it'll be later.
Yeah.
If the new system has to make it be earned a new way, then this question makes more sense to me. And then I'm thinking, well, I don't want it just in the orders. There's got to be more ways than that. I like the idea. You're going to laugh. I won't say anything, but I'll still say something. How about a blueprint that we get? That the blueprint can be earned 2 different ways. Either it can drop randomly, but that's a very small chance.
Yeah.
Or you do a specific activity and it gives you the blueprint. And then with that blueprint, then you can with some materials and stuff, build the exotic that you got it for.
Makes sense. I mean, they've
That's
done
what Game
something
Dev-
similar to that. They've done something similar to that in the past. You get
Yeah.
like a piece of something and you start building it together. You get like a piece of the weapon and stuff. Blueprint would work too. I think they did blueprints
Because,
with the
look,
truth mission.
What is coming is a way to upgrade the tiers with Shadow and Order, and we don't know what that means yet or what's going to be done.
True.
So it could be the same thing with exotics. It would have to be. So like we just need a way to get the exotic, but then we can upgrade the tiers later on. And I don't really know or care how that would be yet, but once we actually have tiered exotics, there'll definitely be some way to upgrade them, just like the other stuff we're going to be able to upgrade coming up here soon.
Okay. That was the only question we had. So guys, get on the ball. Start sending us some more questions. We want to ramble and answer your questions. So be sure to send us some questions. It's the podcast questions channel in our Discord. There's a Destiny one and a non-Destiny question channel. You can separate them out. So it makes it really easy. Either expand crafting options or roll back to vendor focus bars and leveling them up for gameplay focal points, says Amazing Taco King. Hey, I wanted to mention something before we go. I was going to mention this later tonight, but I figured since we have such a short, we only had one question to answer, I want to show you guys something on stream here, and I'll explain it to our audio listeners here. Give me 1 second. I got to grab it real quick.
Yeah, I like the idea of. I really like the idea of. I'll finish up here soon because he wants to show something of like, with having a crafting option where you earn perks through RNG of other weapons, but then you can pull that perk out and you get to keep it forever, and so then you could craft a perfect version of that gun once you earn all the perks.
Compliments of Amazing Taco King, one of our raid boss patrons. Ooh. By the way, I have in the wrapper I guess this is the this is the Edge of Fate collector's edition. It does not come with a game. He already used the game, but he got an extra one by accident. So it has the full statue in here and a bunch of other things. I haven't even opened it. But the full Prophecy Year of Prophecy collector's edition right here in the wrapping. We're going to have a contest to give this away. So for you audio listeners out there, it's a pretty big box. This thing is it's the size of a PS5. This is like 2.5 feet by 1 foot. I mean, it's big. This is the size of my PS5 Pro box I got. So I just want to show you guys this. He just sent it to me, and I just want to show it to you guys on stream. But
it kind of tell us what you're seeing. That picture on the front, it's like the 3 different Guardians, right?
Yeah, he says it's just the swag without the game. Well, I figure most people, that want this have already got the game. So, but I want to show it to you guys. It's right here, and thanks to our patrons, Amazing Taco King, we will ship this to a lucky winner coming up soon, and we will. We still have our $25 drawings to come up soon, probably before the end of the month, for our speedrun questions. So we'll have those 2 drawings for the $25 gift cards for Amazon. But we're gonna have I've got to think of a contest we're gonna do for that, and we'll probably do that. We'll maybe do that. I think we might do that on our first episode of February. Maybe at the very end we'll have I'll figure it out. We'll think about it. Think about a contest that we can have, and we'll spin the digital wheel online and see who wins it. So I just want to show you guys that. Okay. We have a list of games that Kingsley and I, according to an article that he sent me, that games that are coming out for 2026 this year. And we wanted to point out a few that maybe raised our eyebrows a bit. So we'll do that right after this. All right.
Really want to show videos? Because I'm going to be going through my list fairly quick, or do I have to pause while you're showing a video of the games?
No, when you mention it, okay. I've got all the windows open.
All right.
I'll
Okay,
try to
cool.
keep up. Just maybe go half speed, and we'll go from there. So, do you
I
want to
just don't
start with
have
your?
much to say about each game, but I'll have a little bit. So
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, I didn't mean for it to be
Oh
a big deal thing, and
no
then you
no.
wanted to have better production value.
Oh well, for our just for our for our viewers on in fact I can pipe it into our. I'll share my screen once I go to it too. Code Vein 2 at the end of the month for me. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh, let me do this first. Yeah, okay, we're good. No, I need to move this somewhere first. Hold on a sec. I need to just move this right here. Yep. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2. Well, we Mike sent me an article from the GameSpot, and Gabe Gerwin, who made this article, and it was a pop-up article that showed all the games that were scheduled to come out for 2026, at least speculated, and then there was a list of stuff that has had no date yet. And I gotta admit, Kingsley, I looked through this whole list. I was very thorough. I want to make sure I did my homework on this. I gotta admit, man, there are only a few games that really piqued my interest on this. I guess I'm just an old timer that's played all kinds of games since Atari, and if anything, I'm kind of looking forward to games that are ultra realistic, cutting edge graphics. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 kind of games.
Balatro.
Did that for me. I mean, the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 did that for me. I mean, most games on this list I researched out. I watched the trailers on Steam and YouTube. There just weren't a whole lot that did it for me. I'm not a fan of anime, and there were a lot of games that were anime style games that are coming out this year. But I do have Metaphor ReFantazio in my library, and that will probably be a game of the month coming down the road. But it's not going to be in February. I'll just tell you that. But my main games, like I said, they're shooters. But there have been exceptions. Like you just mentioned, Balatro. I did play Slay the Spire. But as I was looking through this list, a lot of them seem very similar, like similar games. So really, nothing really big stood out to me. So I went and I did go through your list, and I did find some that I'm looking forward to. But I'll start with you, man. What games were you thinking about playing this next season coming up?
First of all, I just sent a list because you like to have links, but the bigger story, the bigger picture here is we don't know everything that's coming out in 2026 yet.
True.
There will be a lot of cool games that are being secretly worked on that aren't on this list yet. Okay. I guarantee it. The same thing happened in 2025. However, I still wanted to start talking about some games I'm looking forward to playing.
Okay.
And I will usually refocus on this twice a year. So I might come back to it mid-year or end of year or something like that.
Okay.
And then there will be a lot of other games that we didn't know were on the list because they weren't on the list yet.
Fair enough.
So you can't judge the list as of today. You would have seen kind of the same thing 2025 at the beginning.
Okay.
I just sent a list because you wanted a link, but
I'll do the best I can.
Basically, I did want to start talking about some games I'm looking forward to playing, and the first one's actually coming out fairly soon, called Cairn or Cairn. Cairn is like Rock Cairns, like it's that climbing game that they announced at the Game Awards a while ago.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I like the outdoors. I like going to the mountains. I don't rock climb myself, but this would be a fun video game to kind of check out and explore. And you have to supposedly place your hands and feet great, and use the ropes and everything like that. You can do a hardcore mode where if you don't have the rope, and then if you fall, you die, and you have to start over, obviously.
Ooh, crap.
Or you can do the normal mode where you have the rope to
catch you,
save you if you fall off the side.
So you just die in hard mode?
Well, yeah, that
That's
would
a
be the
video game.
point, right? You know,
Sure.
you have to start over. It's like a lot of games if you're
Sure.
doing the harder mode.
That makes sense.
Just like you would die in real life
Yeah,
if
of
you fell off
course.
the
Of
mountain
course.
without a rope.
I mean, it's I
Um,
like the art style of this game though. It's pretty neat.
yeah, and supposedly the idea too is it's such a payoff if you get to the top and you get to explore and walk around the mountainside for a bit and things like that. So I
Okay.
don't know, man. I think this could be fun. I think it'd be something I'm looking forward to.
Okay. What else you got?
Another game, Resident Evil Requiem. That comes out February 27th.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's on screen.
yeah, I don't necessarily love horror games, but I don't hate them either. And sometimes they're kind of fun to play here and there. And as long as there's some RPG elements to it, building things out
It looks really
and things like
detailed.
that, which it looks like, yeah, it looks like it'll have. That'll be fun. Sometimes, you know, they focus on puzzle aspects too. You got to
Mm-hmm.
find the correct way out. You got to do this or that. So I like
Hmm.
games like that.
Yeah, I
But you
can't.
you sounded like you'll be too scared to play this game, right?
They had a Paranormal Activity game out. I was like, nope, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. So, what else you have on your list?
Yeah. And then I have a few that don't have dates yet, but I know are
It's fine.
coming this year. But as far as the last one with a date, and I do want to talk about if we think it'll get delayed again or not, but
Right.
GTA 6, November 19th. Now, I'll tell you my opinion. I'm curious what you think, because I had heard another rumor just the other day that the game is still not feature complete. And if it isn't by today, then
Yeah.
is it going to come out by November? But that I heard another thing that said no, that's not true. Here's the thing: it's already been delayed. What, 2 times, or has it been 3 times? At this point,
I
I
think
think
this is a third time, and I think they're
yeah,
saying November of this year, but I heard that's
November
not.
19th.
Yeah, I heard that's not going to happen. I don't know.
Did you hear that for sure? Yeah.
Everybody
See,
seems to
I
be
think
leaning that they're trolling everybody. So everybody keeps delaying their games or moving them up or whatever.
well, they're not doing it to troll people. They're doing it because it's not ready, if anything.
Okay. All right.
But they're not just tricking us and saying ha ha ha.
Oh, I'm sure no, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's so
But
much
I
pressure on
think
this game to do well.
I think though at this point it will come out in November. I think there's a 60%
Okay.
chance that it will not get delayed again, because at some point, if you delay another time, that may be worse than if it even comes out with some bugs. Think about, I don't think it'll be as bad as Cyberpunk, but let's say it comes out with some bugs
Hmm.
and they can fix them up quickly enough. I still think they should probably get it this year. But yeah, maybe it'll get delayed one more time.
Obviously, this was on my list, and I want to play this for one reason. I've lived in Florida all my life. I'm one of the rare Florida crackers out there, and I want to see how accurate their research was when it comes to Florida, because I've visited all parts of Florida. I've been down to Key West. I've been in Miami. I've been all along the West Coast, the East Coast, I've been in Tallahassee, been in Pensacola. I've been in everywhere, Jacksonville, you name it. And I'm curious to see these different areas they show, how accurate they are going to
Well,
be.
you can play the older games today.
Well, the older games aren't
Yeah.
Florida.
Oh, not at all. I thought one of them was in Miami or something.
Oh, maybe. Well, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But this is really talking about Florida. So there's definitely gun toters.
All right.
Definitely gun toters in Florida. There's a lot of that. That's for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
And then some other games. Yeah, Scarlet. These are games that I'm looking forward to playing, but we'll definitely talk about that in a
Yeah.
second. I want to hear what everyone else is looking forward to playing if something's not on mine or Todd's list too. So let us know in the chat if you're here, or afterwards let us know in the Discord. Some other games I'm looking forward to. It doesn't have a release date, but they claim it'll be 2026. Is Battlestar Galactica: Scattered Hopes.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know what it's going to be, but I love Battlestar Galactica. I mean, my ex-wife's dad was the creator of Battlestar Galactica, Glenn Larson,
Really?
and the original series. And
Really?
the
Okay.
new series I like even better. Oh yeah, Glenn Larson. He made like Knight Rider, Battlestar
That's right. Yeah.
Buck Rogers, a lot of those
Okay.
shows, Miami Vice.
Right.
So
Right. Okay.
yeah, but I always liked Battlestar Galactica even before I knew him. Just growing up as a kid, watching it with my dad. And then a couple other here. in both of these are kind of rumored, kind of in that Marchish timeframe. But one is Assassin's Creed is supposedly coming out. This has kind of been one of their worst kept secrets, but a remake remaster of Black Flag, one of the best Assassin's Creed
Saw
games
that.
out there.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
and I'm really excited if that can get not just remastered, but supposedly remade a little bit too to kind of fix some quality of life things.
Okay.
I will be all on that.
We'll
And
see if they
then,
actually jump on the boats instead of it you just appearing on the boat when you crash into a boat. That was a
what are
disappointment.
you talking about? I jumped over to a boat.
Okay.
I played the game last year again.
You
I don't know what you're thinking about.
I thought I thought they eliminated that or minimized that action.
No,
Okay, they're
nope,
wrong.
nope, yep. And then also in March, it is the 10-year anniversary of the Division franchise. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in the March timeframe. The things we know so far is the year 7 is ending, and there's supposedly going to be a mini season, probably just a few weeks to like a month long. And they're doing this thing. I may not be as interested in it, but it's called a realism update. And what that means is you get to play how guns would actually play. Basically, a one shot would be death to the head, you know, um, and stuff like that. Not abilities and stuff. And it's opt in. You don't have to play that. But what's also going to be coming in March is announcement of the year 8 season stuff, but also they have been working on Division 3. So I'm also guessing since it's the 10-year anniversary, it'll be a perfect time for them to kind of announce, okay, we're looking for Division 3 coming out, whatever, 2027 or something like that.
All right.
So should be a big March timeframe for the Division.
They're
All
talking
right,
about
and then I want to hear what you're looking forward
yeah, they're
to.
talking about a Survivor style. The Destiny 2 Survivors is
Oh yeah, Survivor stuff is coming back. We don't have an exact date for that yet.
okay.
Let me tell you, one of the best things they have added to the game, those things called retaliations. And so in the public events, when you go around, you take these control points, right? Where there's like the bad guys, they just bunkered in like a gas station, or
Right.
they're like little public event areas. Think about like in Destiny.
Right.
And you fight them and you take over that place. But ever since last season, they added a thing called retaliations, where if you do enough public events in one zone, the enemies of that zone get really mad and they want to retaliate. And what that means is you have to go to 2 other public event areas and do a much harder version. But one of the best things about these retaliations is that is where you get to do the targeted loot by doing a retaliation, and you get to pick what you want your loot to drop as. And it's such a good way for farming stuff.
Cool. Okay. All right. My first game that I want to mention, and like I said, I looked through the list, is this is the oh man, I see. I can get rid of this. No, I'll just keep it. I'm a big Dynasty Warriors fan, and Dynasty Warriors 3, they're talking about a remake. And I think they're saying sometime, they say March 18th. We'll see. But I played this game on I think the PS2, and I would love to go back and play this style of game back again. The remaster looks really good. And I did not play Origins because it's not the same game as the classic Dynasty Warriors. It was a little more involved to it, and it got a little too cerebral for me. I just want to hack and slash, and I want to be Lu Bu. You know, I want to just kick butt. But that's one game. Another game I had listed, and I don't know if I'll play this one or not, but I'm thinking about it, and it's Pragmata. I think this was shown at the I believe this was shown at the Game Awards.
I'm a maybe on that one too. I almost added it to my list.
They're saying April 24th, and the fact that you have this cyborg child that hangs on you the whole time. Fast forward here. We'll show some of the gameplay.
That's the part that seems weird to me.
Really? You think that's weird? I don't know. It's kind of nice because
Why?
she has these powers that you use in conjunction with your powers that you have.
I know, but it would have almost been better it just being like a robot or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems weird that it's like child, but anyways.
It's a little weird, but I this is one that perked my ears up when I was watching the Game Awards, and so that's another one.
It is a robot if it's a cyborg. Sorry.
I'll go through these pretty quickly. I'm actually thinking about jumping in to Diablo. Yes, I'll say it correctly now because I can't mock it anymore. But I'm thinking about playing it, and possibly there's a new series coming out, a new Lord of Hatred. I think it's April 28th.
That Soul of Hatred, you should be surprised I didn't add that to the list. I almost added that one to the list also.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is, I have so many games in my backlog. There's so many games competing for it. But I played Diablo a long time ago, man. And I have a lot of friends who are just crazed Diablo players. And I might pick it up. I might pick it up and see. I was thinking of that other game that's similar to it.
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile 2. But it looks very similar to Diablo. So I might just go the Diablo route and go from there. Another game I was thinking about is 007 First Light. This game looked really good. And I'm a big 007 fan. I've watched all the James Bond movies, even the first ones that came out before my time. And the graphics look really good on it. The car chases and stuff look really nice. And it's a big game, man. There's a lot of pressure for this game to do well. And it's a PlayStation type game, so they usually really want to make sure their stuff is good when it comes out. We'll see. It may be the laughing stock this year. Who knows? And it may get delayed. You just never know these days. But that's one I'm considering. More of a role-playing game. Another game is that I've looked into. We talked about Grand Theft Auto 6. There's one called Phantom Blade Zero. This game intrigued me a little bit because it was a fighting game. Something very different than what I'm used to playing. And I'm all into ninjas and samurais and stuff. So this game looked pretty good too. And for me, it's about graphics, man. It's all about graphics for me. I did see this exact trailer at the Game Awards too. And this looked really good. So don't know much about it, but it might get me going here. Another one, and this is one you probably have not heard of, Kingsley, is called, let me make sure I can find it here. I got so many windows open. It's crazy. Where is it? Geez, did I forget to pull it up? It's a game
we
called.
Had some comments in the chat.
It's a game called.
I can read while you're looking.
It's a game called. Okay. Well, go ahead and read the comments. I'll get it real quick.
Yeah. So, Amazing Taco King is looking forward to Code Vein 2 at the end of the month. Also, a rumor of Fallout 3 remaster Shadow Drop that could be coming out. And then also he hopes to see a Fable release date announced this year. Fable. And then real quick in the Discord, we also have some comments. We have basically, Phantom Blade looks kick-ass, but also Scarlett wants to know what about Marathon? I mean,
funny you should say that.
We know Marathon.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah. Well, funny, why don't they have a date yet? March is just around the corner. They should tell us the date, first of all.
Well, geez, Todd, where did you put it? I know you put it down here. Oh, is this it? No, that's the problem is my windows are so small I can't read them.
Is that the game you were going to mention? Was Marathon as a joke?
No. Toxic Commando. It reminds me of a Left 4 Dead type show, game. It's a co-op zombie survival shooter, but it's really big maps. That's March 12th. It's very good quality. I mean, it's a very high graphical displayed. Lots of blood and guts, and it just looked really good. And the reason I liked it, I don't like playing zombie games that are too claustrophobic. I want to be able to, for my Call of Duty days, I like to be able to train, the zombies and give me time to think about how to get out of the situation. So for that reason, I like the bigger maps. But I have to tell you, man, Marathon I was eating lunch today, and Marathon put out a new developer update talking about all the shells for the Marathon game coming out. And one particular shell got my attention, and it's called Rook. What's the one thing that Destiny players hate about this game? It's the fact that you got all this loot.
One thing you have a thousand.
No,
things
I know, but the main thing is we like to collect loot. Well, with all these shells, if you die, you lose your loot. You lose your crap. I think they might have, hopefully they'll have like a pocket like Arc Raiders does, like something you can tuck away that you can't lose. But there is this character shell they talked about. But they talked about this character shell today, and I did not know they were doing this, called Rook. It is basically a solo type playing shell where you can jump into games that are already in progress, gather as much stuff as you can, and what you gather, you keep. That is a game changer for me. So,
oh my gosh, you should have known this. We just couldn't talk about it. It was in the private.
Well, if that in fact is the case, that anything I collect, I will get, because I'm going to just tell you right now, Marathon is not going to be friendly. No, people are just going to shoot you. This is going to be a competitive shooter. But if I know that I'm not going to lose my crap and I just get what I can and get out, they said it was good for building up your inventory. You come in with a a preloaded, basic loadout. So if you jump in and die, who cares? Because you can just go back and get it again. But the main thing is that it's basically like, it's like a shopping spree. The clock's ticking. You're in the middle of a match that's already in progress, and you run around and just start opening everything you can. That got my attention. So for that reason, I might actually try Marathon. I might give it a shot. If in fact that Rook can keep stuff, and that wasn't a lie, that I can actually keep the stuff that I loot. Because I love jumping into solo games and just trying stuff out. And there'll be times when I want to play with a group, and I'll bring in another shell, but we can have like a night where just jump in.
Now I want to watch that part of it. Did they say you just keep it for other solo instances, or you can actually keep it?
I don't know
when you're playing the regular.
I don't know if this was the Vidoc that came out. This isn't the actual developer update. It just came out today. I just got a notification while I was in a class, in a session.
And I watched part of it. But I got a little bored, because the game's definitely not for me. But
I tell you what, though, once they explain what all the shells do, like there's one there's one that has a little ghost that floats above you that actually heals you after you get shot. That's pretty cool, man. There's some we'll see. I don't like to get too hyped over Bungie games, you know me, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna get too much copium here. So anyway, that is one game. Another game that I'm looking at, I don't know if you've known about this, Kingsley, since you like Battlestar Galactica. The Expanse has a game coming out. That is it's based on the television series. I never read any of the novels, but I love the series, The Expanse. And shout out to Laz, because he talks about The Expanse all the time, but this one looks good. It's a sci-fi role-playing game, so it has possibilities, and it could be a total flop. Who knows?
Yeah, I must have missed that one on the list. I am kind of interested.
Okay, and let's make sure I had another game here. Yes, I do have another game, because I want to make sure I scratch that itch. Empire Eternal. This is supposed to be, Sierra Games went out of business, so Empire Earth, they're not going to be any more Empire Earths. That is one of my favorite real-time strategy games of all time, because you actually ascend through all the ages of humans. And, you can see in the thing here, it shows as you gain your resources and stuff, you actually move up, and you actually can play into the future, like feature things. This looks like a spitting image of Empire Earth when I played it back in the day. And being that the release date's iffy, but they're speculating 2026 on this one. But just to have a real time strategy game to play, this is an option for me, because I loved Empire Earth. And this, I was doing a little research. This game looks very much like it, called Empire Eternal. Let me see. Make sure I don't have any other games. I've already talked about that. Yes, I talked about that. Oh, This is a hilarious game that I came across, and this was on your list, Kingsley. I actually got I actually got a little excited about this game, and it's called The Unemployment Simulator. It's a very independent game. It's very basic.
But wait, you like games with good graphics.
I know, but this is the one game that I might actually.
You can allow, if you allow yourself, you can like any game that doesn't have.
I know, but
graphics.
I tend to gravitate to the newest technology.
I know, that's why you missed out on
the guy's cleaning his toilet bowl. I mean, it's like all the things, you're unemployed, and it talks about all these.
Does look hilarious.
This is something that I could get into because this is how I think when I'm at home. I'm like, okay, I got to do laundry today. Today's a colors load. Okay, do colors. First step, we got to put it in the washer. All right, next step, I need to put it, the detergent in. Then okay, let's set it on this. So, it's just like how I live my life sometimes, except I'm employed.
Okay. Maybe this is like an ADHD thing. My wife loves games like this too. She loves Power Wash Simulator, games like this.
Yeah.
This is my nightmare. I'd be so bored and annoyed playing a game like this.
It just looks fun. It just looks like a game I could play like on a random Wednesday night and maybe stream it just to see what people think of it. But
I would get bored so quick.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's just me. That's where we're different. So
yeah. I wish I had that Toxic Commando clip, but I'm not going to sit here and dig for it, but that was on it. But that basically is my list.
Awesome.
Like I said, it was the kind of thing where get back to our screen. It was the kind of thing where I looked at that list and I really couldn't get excited about it, so I went on YouTube, I went online, I started researching what was coming out for 2026, and those are the types of games that I really like to play. So
yeah, and this isn't, again, also like people have to remember, this is not all the games. There will be other cool games that we just don't know about yet, or they don't have a release.
Yeah, and
there'll be a lot more cool things that do come out. I'm not saying 2026 will be the same as 2025, but
right.
This is just so far what we know about, and I wanted to start the conversation going.
Yeah, so it's just I don't know, man. It just I thought it was a good list. I mean, I didn't have anything against it too much, but just when I see these games, it's all about anime, and then there's some turn-based stuff that looks interesting. But I say that's the kind of games I like to play, and the only exception would be, like I said, Dynasty Warriors 3, which brings back, those are just member berries. So, anyway, thanks, Kingsley, for mentioning that. I wanted to make sure that we mentioned that as we head into 2026 here. I figured that was appropriate to mention games.
We'll see if you actually do play any other game.
Oh yeah, it's on my.
I still don't believe it, but we'll see.
No, it's on my list. It's on my list of things that 2026 is gonna be for, is me actually trying and playing other games. I'll still play Destiny.
Wasn't that also on your list of 2025?
I don't remember what you're talking about. Okay. All right. We have our catch-up segment next, and a little bit of housekeeping. And we also got a lot of comments about our announcement last week, and I want to address some of those. So we'll do that when we return. All right. Let me pull that part up real quick here. Oh, I got to tell you what happened today. I wanted to save it for the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'll just open with that, then we'll go from there. I do have a movie review too I want to mention tonight. It was a really good movie too. There we go. 3. All right, Kingsley, the last segment of our show tonight is our catch-up segment. And I want to just kind of go over what we've been doing, what we've been playing, what we've been watching, that kind of stuff. And I realize on the shows, I try to get right to the Destiny content, so our listeners or people don't have a lot of time, can get right to the topics, We can talk about them, talk about our topics, but I always like to catch up. There's a lot of people who want to know what we're doing every week and things that are happening to us. I have to open with this. I went to Podfest today. I was there at 8:45 sharp this morning, and we have a nor'easter heading into Florida today. It's moving in as of today, and I was looking out the windows as I was in the hotel, and the winds were howling. So as I came home tonight, and I got home about 30 minutes before the podcast started. I just was able to jump in the shower just to get cleaned up from being around people all day, and drink half of my protein shake, and I was on. I went to take my dog in the backyard, and we have a back deck with a patio table with a glass top and an umbrella. Well, the umbrella got whipped out of its base so violently today, it shattered the entire glass table. I got home, and all I can see, and I had to make sure, it's because it's usually pretty clear. The glass had all shattered in her table. This is a big table. It's like a long rectangular patio table, and there's just shards of glass everywhere. And of course, the umbrella is like way over on the other side of the deck. I don't know how hard the winds are flying today. They must have gotten up to 40, 50 mile an hour today, because that's what it would take to rip our umbrella out of its base and crack the table, or obliterate the tabletop like that. But I thought that was interesting. I got home and saw that, and I was like,
Yeah, that sucks,
okay.
man. Now, I was going to say, though, don't you kind of get those winds all the time when like hurricanes are coming through and stuff? Or
well, yeah,
then maybe to take the
course.
umbrella down.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that these nor'easters come in and they're just out of nowhere. We get these blazing winds, and we can get some pretty good gusts in the wintertime here. And I think it caught everybody by surprise. But usually, we'll wind the
What's
patio
a
umbrella down.
nor'easter again? I just hear that's an eastern term.
Oh,
I've
it's
never
just
heard of a
the winds are out
nor'easter
of
on
the north.
western half.
Well, when the fronts come across Florida, the winds are always out of the northeast. It's a northeast.
Okay.
It's a northeast blowing
Okay.
storm.
So we had a term in Southern California called the Santa Anas, and basically that was an opposite thing, but it would be during the winter. And winters in Southern California are pretty temperate; they're not super cold. But if you get the Santa Anas, that's like winds coming from the south. It's like it gets it even a little bit warmer, but very dry. If you're closer to like the beach in California, you're not like desert dry. You're not like eastern dry, wet either. But like when you get the Santa Ana winds, it gets a lot drier, and that's when a lot of the fires start. That's kind of what happened last year too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what went on today for me. I have been sicker than a dog all week, and like I said, I got the man flu this week, and I was
What's a man flu? I only get regular flus. I don't get gender flus.
Man bug, whatever. I don't get sick very often, and it's always around February that I get sick. It just came early this year, I guess. But I think my wife brought something home. She swears she wasn't sick, but she was sniffling pretty bad, and I think she just passed it on to me. But she's around snotty-nosed little kids all day, and they don't wash their hands, and they hug her, and she brings it home. So that's the way it works.
It happens, man.
She got home, but she's not listening. She's in the other room. I'm such a coward. But yeah, that's been, I mean, I really haven't had a lot of time to play games this week. I do, like I said, I make sure that I complete my weekly seasonal track. I make sure I get my weapons and armor from Zavala every week. But I did try the Lawless Frontier last night, like I told you, and I did try running the campaign mission again on Legendary solo to only get nothing for my time. So that's pretty much been my gaming this week. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been a real lean week for me as far as game playing. But what's been happening over in Utah, man? What's been going on over there?
Yeah, well, nothing too interesting outside of the house. But I mean, I've been continuing to watch Better Call Saul. It's my third watch through. I just started season 4. There's 6 seasons total, and I'm appreciating it even more the third time around, catching even more. So, like I've mentioned a million times, those shows like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are worth rewatching, but I'm surprised how much more I'm noticing. I do really recommend, if no one's done this before, is watch them back to back. And then you can learn a lot and notice a lot more things that way. Yeah, good stuff. And then I've been playing a fair amount of stuff. I haven't been playing I was into Donkey Kong Bonanza a lot on the Switch too, but kind of took a break on that this last week. The wife's been playing it more. But Destiny had a lot of fun with our Did a couple raids last week, I think. I mean, the one that I was talking about earlier in the show with the all bows and swords might have been 2 weeks ago. Forgive me, people, but I'm just going to say it was this last week. I mean, I hadn't talked about it yet, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
And then of course, Saturday night raiding's always fun.
Yeah, it was
Did
fun.
the
We had Barrow Barley,
Desert
didn't we?
Perpetual again. Yes, Barrow Barley we
His
brought
first
in,
clear?
and yeah, got him his first clear on the raid.
That's fun.
And
He did
it's
really
always a
good.
fun time there.
He says he's, I think he ran one of the encounters and didn't get through it all the way. But I tell you, for his first time running through, I thought he did a great job. Shout out to Barrow Barley, man. He nailed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he actually, he knows.
He took Kate's spot too. He could doing the call outs on the eyes and stuff. Did real good.
Yeah, you can tell he knows like how to pick up things well in raids and stuff.
It's good.
Sorry,
Well-
just the wife brought in a slice of pizza for me. I have one
Oh.
other game, but you can talk for a second.
Well, I did watch a movie in the theaters this last week, and I got a new review for it. I watched Is This Thing On? It's starring Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper, and Laura Dern. It's all about a married man who is in the early steps of a divorce after being married for decades, and he has 2 kids, of course, that are preteens and teenagers, I guess I could say. And he's actually separated from his family home. He's living in a small apartment. They're separated. They're not divorced yet. Who wanders into a comedy club one night and signs up for an open mic night in order to avoid the cover charge at the door because now he doesn't have a lot of money. What he discovers is that he has a gift for stand-up and begins kind of a reawakening in his life. And it all culminates when he becomes very popular in the local comedy scene, and his wife is on a date with a friend of hers in the very same comedy club on that very night when he walks up on stage for his set. And I'll tell you this, it did not go the way you're thinking right now. It was a very interesting story, and I thought the ending was really good. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 86% certified fresh. IMDb has it at 7.2 out of 10. And I agree. It was a really good movie. I give this one 4 solid stars. It's very good. It's worth a watch. So whenever it comes out to the streaming shows, or if it's still on at your movie theater, it's worth going and watching. It really, really just it's strife, but it also has a very good, happy ending. So yeah. You had another game I think you
Sounds
mentioned.
good.
Oh, I know what you're going to mention. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that movie could be interesting. And then even though I've been talking a lot about The Division earlier in the show, I kind of took a break from playing it until this last week again. I finally hopped back in, and the new season came out about 5 or 6 weeks ago. But I hopped in and did all the stuff to do all the. They kind of have like a weekly story that goes for not 4 weeks or 6 weeks like Destiny, but like 8 to 12 weeks.
Okay. That's good.
And so right now they're only like on week 6 or 7, but I got caught up on all that stuff. There's a lot of fun. What you can do in this seasonal thing that they added is you have companions now. So you actually
That's
have
right.
a True Sun companion. They're one of the enemy types, the True Suns. And you can either have a medic version, an assault version, which shoots like a rocket launcher, or a tech version who has
These are human people.
Yeah, they're human.
Okay.
They're companions, so they're
Okay.
little NPC companions that
Gotcha.
follow you around, and
Okay.
and they're pretty smart. They have good AI to them, and you
Not
can,
dumb.
if you want them to focus on a particular enemy,
Yeah.
you aim on that enemy, and you push up on your D-pad, and then they'll focus on that. It marks them, and they'll focus on that specific enemy.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you can really kind of play it how you want. It's really cool. And I am curious for anyone else who plays the Division semi-regularly, what you think. I heard that some people don't like the idea of companions, like either that they felt like they weren't smart enough, or that it trivializes some content. But I think it's a really cool thing personally, and I think they're kind of testing it out as one thing that they might bring into the Division 3. They could just play it as like a third slot thing, because right now you have 2 slots for abilities. I like having a pulse thing that shows where the enemies are, and then I have a drone as my other ability.
Right.
But with Division 3, all they have to do is add like a third ability, and that could be a companion, or if you don't want to have a companion, you could have maybe like a third tech thing or whatever. and that would be kind
Nice.
of a fair way to equal it out.
Okay.
But yeah, lots of fun through there, and been playing with some people again a little bit, doing stuff there.
I'm thinking I might play it at some point. We'll see. I mean, my God, man, the competition for extra games right now. There's so many. But I already have a game I'm going to play in February, and I'll announce it on our first episode in February, which game I'm going to try. Well, awesome, man. I wanted to make sure that we, we made the announcement last week that we're changing our format, kind of tweaking things a little bit here at the podcast starting in February. And, that sometimes things aren't going to be going on in Destiny, and we want to be able to have something we can fall back on and talk about if Destiny's not the center of the topic. It's not hot in the news. So, I mean, there's always news, drama and stuff, but you know what I mean? Like real stuff that's going on in Destiny. So I wanted to actually announce the actual name of our podcast. I told you we were going to do a little bit of a rebranding come February, and I talked to Kingsley about it, and we both agree it's a good name. So our new name coming in February.
Wait, I'm not supposed to pretend I don't know the name yet?
Oh, right.
That would be so
That's
awesome.
what I meant. The new name in February. You guys ready?
I'm ready. I'm so excited. What is it going to be?
Guardian Down Roundtable. I know it's not that creative. It's not that creative, but what I like about it is it keeps our legacy in place. The 6 years we've been doing this, it kind of reminds everyone of our past years of podcasting as Guardian Down Cast. Nothing's going to change on our podcast feeds other than some new artwork and a new name, of course. But so you won't need to do anything. There won't be any hoops to jump through. In fact, our guardiandowncast.com will still be going to the same old site. We'll just be tweaking a few things on the website, but that way we can keep our domain, we can keep our website intact. Everything will be the same as far as that goes. But we did have some feedback that we got from our community this past week, and I just wanted to share a few of them. The first one I got was from Barrel Barley. He says, great show. Looking forward to the new format and new content. I like all the Destiny stuff, but yeah, I can't wait to hear your opinion about other games. Arc Raiders needs to be on the list. Duketown, longtime listener of the podcast, says, I like the show, but I have mixed feelings about the new show change. Might miss a dedicated Destiny pod. Which,
by the way, we were never purely dedicated Destiny. We already had roundtable episodes.
We already did. Like I said, we've already been kind of testing the waters over the year. Eagle the Gray, he had some content. He had some comments here. I want to make sure we share these because I wanted to clear some things up here. He says, a podcast that ventures into multiple games and topics will mean outside of the central Destiny 2 topics, each other topic will only relate to a percentage of listeners. I know Destiny 2 and its player base is shrinking, so I get needing to do something. I'm just so worried that I'm going to end up zoning out or skipping topics I know I don't care about, like Arc Raiders, Warhammer, etc. Like if you guys start doing a TTRP or sci-fi lit talk, I'm game, but I'm sure some other people feel the opposite of me on those topics. Destiny 2 is my hyperfixation for sure, and it just kind of sucks seeing content creators leaving or having to diversify, meaning less specific content around Destiny 2. I started listening here after the old Destiny community podcast, DCP, diversified so much that I was skipping like 20-minute chunks at a time before getting to listen to 10 minutes of Destiny talk. I'm with you there. I feel the same way about DCP. They barely mention Destiny at all anymore. They've kind of moved on to other games and stuff. Tajo, of course, not afraid to share his opinions. In my opinion, the podcast has not been Destiny centric for as long as I can think. Occasionally I will tune in for the live show a bit, but I don't play the podcast back anymore. Most of the show is dedicated to what's going on in life with Todd and Kingsley and other games and movies and entertainment. And then a good portion of it is community focused. The Destiny part is pretty minimal, and a lot of it is repeating info from the TWID or talking about the new releases, etc. The Discord community is what I enjoy the most. I like the discussions and playing and helping people out sometimes. This is what keeps me around. I don't care how the actual podcast changes since I don't listen much to it. Totally get that. I totally get that, Tajo. And then Jack Attack says, me seeing another Destiny podcast go the way of variety. And it's an old lady saying, "You're joking, not another one." McMaximo said, "One thing I learned from listening to Stuff You Should Know podcast is that oftentimes when I'm going to skip an episode because it didn't interest me, it actually ended up being interesting." And Zariel said, "I started listening because this is one of the few Destiny-centric podcasts around. But I do play other games. I watch movies and shows. I read. So I don't imagine diversifying would send me away. I do like the Discord and the community here, as Tajo said above. But I'm not adverse to discussions of other games. And nothing else is else. It's another outlet for advice for things I might enjoy playing." And Mick Gator, Miklo, said, "I always look forward to Mondays when the show drops on Spotify and listen at work. And to me personally, I'm not bothered by variety as I play myself other games, watch shows, movies, and life, and I would still listen one way or another. It's still a great show in my opinion, and the Discord community is great. Everyone is so cool." Well, I wanted to maybe, I don't know, maybe clarify a few things here. Thank you for the feedback, by the way. We love hearing back from you guys, and keep it coming. I think I even put in there, hey, keep the feedback coming. We love hearing from you guys and what you guys think. You know, we're big boys. We can handle it. But here's the thing. I think once you all see and hear the new format in February, and we already have our first 2 guests lined up, by the way, they've already agreed to be on, so I cannot wait to talk with them. I think you guys might realize it's actually an improvement of what we've had in the past. As I've been podcasting these over these 6 years plus now, I've learned kind of more and more about making our show better, trying new things, not being afraid to shake things up. So I think the only thing I can tell you is just tune in on our first episode in February. And if it's not your bag, hey man, it's no hard. It's no hate. No hate. If it's not what you like, it's not your cup of tea. I mean, I think it's like gaming out there. We can't please everybody. We have to go with where our passions are and stuff. But I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that if there is something going on in Destiny, we are going to talk about it. I know there's another podcast I'm thinking of right now that would talk forever about other games they're playing and then finally mention a few things in Destiny at the middle or towards the end. And I always hated that because I'm like, this is a Destiny podcast. Let's hear the Destiny stuff. And then if you want to talk about other games later, then do that. But I just want to let you guys know that we're always going to have kind of like a Destiny corner in our show, which really hasn't changed. It's kind of the way it's been. If there's something in the TWID that's interesting that we need to make sure people know about, we're going to mention that as well. But the main thing I like about this new format is that it's very forward facing. The way we talk every week, it won't jumble around. It'll be very organized. It'll be very, I think it'll be very interesting because we're going to have 4 new topics every week. And if we don't have 4 people, then I guess I'll have 3 topics and Kingsley will have 1. But we're going to make sure we have 4 topics to talk about every week. And it can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about other games. Like tonight, we mentioned games we're thinking about playing. We mentioned the article. You know, we talked about the impending tech issues that are going to be coming, and maybe going to be costing a lot more money and stuff. Things like that we already talked about tonight. So, and you notice we still had a topic for Destiny. We still mentioned any highlights in the TWAB or TWID or whatever you want to call it. So I just want to put everyone at ease that we are not like a lot of podcasts out there have just left Destiny behind. And unless Destiny come April just says, we're done, we're going to shut down the game. We're going to make Destiny 3. And until then, Sayonara. I hope you guys like Marathon. If that's the case, then obviously we're going to have to pivot to strictly topics and talking about other games. But I'm telling you, man, I'll be the last person when they're shutting down the servers. I'll be the last person trying to get that very last Vanguard order done before they shut it off. So I just want to reiterate that we're not abandoning our roots. And by that name I just talked about tonight, Guardian Down Roundtable, it's pretty much going to be the same podcast. We're just going to be more open to talk about some other things and not be too narrow in our base of what we're talking about. Kingsley, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, when you mentioned the idea of the name change, I loved it too because it really is important to, like you said, keep to the roots and keep a name that people are familiar with. Um, I'm also someone that I play a lot of games, but
Yeah,
the second Destiny comes out with the release, it
we're on
becomes
it.
the priority.
Yeah,
I stop other games that I'm playing and I check out what's going on in Destiny.
yeah.
And I actually play other games as opposed to you.
I
But I'm
don't.
just saying,
I mean,
I'm just saying
there's been some
that
rare exceptions. I mean, Claire Obscure was the
of course,
first.
the Destiny
Yeah.
stuff will be a priority.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
Claire Obscure was a very rare situation where I actually played
yeah,
that, but that's because I got pressured by my peers to play it. And Balatro, you know
yeah.
why I picked up Balatro? We didn't have any power in our house, and I couldn't turn on my PlayStation. So I opened up my Apple Games, and Balatro was there. And I said, everyone's been talking about this Balatro game. Let's see what this is about. I downloaded it because all I had was cellular, and it kept me not thinking about my power being out for a long time. And that's the reason I really took to Balatro. I think normally if I was playing Destiny and I had power, I would have never found that game. So it's funny
Yeah.
how things work out that way.
Um, yeah, and a couple other things too, like and like you said, and we love everyone's feedback, but also some other important
Mhm.
things, like you mentioned, was like, we gotta have passion for what we're talking about. It's not like we don't have passion talking about for Destiny, but there's other things. I love talking about tech. You love talking about other things. Also, we want to keep people around in the Discord, like I mentioned the last week,
Yep.
and unfortunately, a lot of people not necessarily leaving the Discord, but are not playing Destiny as much. And there's more of those people that we don't want to lose that might be interested in hearing other things too, without taking anything away from Destiny. I do agree that sometimes other podcasts almost, when they stop talking about certain games, it's because of something burned them or something they don't almost want to talk about it anymore. But that's not us. I've been doing this so long term, and so has Todd, that bringing in other games does not mean that we're not
Doesn't diminish
excited to talk
Destiny.
about Destiny.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's like some of these other podcasts, I'm not trying to shout out anybody tonight, but it's like they have I wouldn't say hatred, that's too strong a word, but they're kind of butthurt about what they're doing in the game, and they just purposely kind of omit, the Destiny part of their show. So that's all I'm saying. But anyway,
Yeah, I want to also, I'm always about fairness, and
mhm.
people can say things that they love about the game. People can also say things they don't
Yep.
like about the game. On that same aspect, people can talk about other games they like, and people can always talk about Destiny that they like also. We are never going to say in the Discord, you can't say things that you like about Destiny. We also won't say you can't say things you like about other games. So it's kind of that fairness aspect.
Perfect. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, that's that. I just want to make sure I got that across tonight because I know it's easy to just say, okay, well, another one bites the dust. We want this place to be. In fact, me and Kingsley have already started talking about some redecorating in our server as well, our Discord. So we're gonna tweak things a bit to reflect our new podcast style. We'll be doing that. And we won't do it really overnight, but we'll slowly start changing things up a little bit, just a little, just like I said, tweaking and just, making it more of a place where not just Destiny players want to hang out. If there's someone who wants to join our voice channels, we have a bunch of them in here, and play another game, fine. We don't have a problem with that. We just love that you're in our community. And when it comes to Destiny, we hope that, you guys share the love for it that we do. But Bungie's got a lot to answer for right now. And, I'm not saying it's fully their fault either. The game has run a long time. And I'm just curious to see when that state of the game comes out. And I think they're probably right now looking at that whiteboard going, okay, state of the game. Where are we going to go here? I know they have stuff they've already got in the works, but they're going to probably have to figure out how they're going to shape this content over the next year, because come summer, we got to decide if we're going to buy another Destiny expansion, right? So, yeah,
We'll be buying it.
we're going to buy it. And
Yeah.
I'm probably going to play Marathon, because once I heard that there's a character you can go in there and collect stuff and not worry about getting killed and losing it all. They have me in on that. So we'll see if that is in fact the case. Jealous, man. I'm excited to see it too, man. I'm excited to see how it goes. So That's our show, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We try not to keep it too long. We try to keep it right around the 2-hour mark. But speaking of shameless plug, I want you guys to do me a favor. I just started a new podcast. It's a solo podcast. It's just a little side mini podcast I do. It's called 50 Years Experience Required. And I just need you to do me a favor. Go to 50yearspod.com. That's the website. You can go to 50yearsexperiencerequired.com as well, but it's easier just to say 50 Years Pod. There's 10 episodes there. I'm going to release an 11th episode this next week coming up. Pick one episode that is of interest to you and just listen to it. It's less than 30 minutes, and I need some feedback. I really do. I need some feedback on what you guys honestly think about it. If it's something that is interesting to you, and if not, tell me. You can DM me or you can put it in the feedback channel. I don't care. And just let me know what you guys think. That's all I'm asking. So it's 50 Years Pod. That's 50yearspod.com. A big shout out to our Patreon community, especially our Dungeon Champion patron. That would be Deadpool and Merc. Our Raid Boss patrons. That's Jealous, Frostbite, and Amazing Taco King. And of course, thank you again, Amazing Taco King, for that awesome collector's edition, Prophecy edition, Edge of Fate pack that we just got. And we'll be sure to figure out what kind of contest to put together for that. So any closing remarks, Kingsley? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to give a shout out to or anything like that before we go?
No, just continue to talk to us in the Discord. We love comments. Also, one of the things you were kind of mentioning, we're slowly testing is
Yes.
I made the other games channel a forum channel. The only reason I want to mention it now, and there may still be some changes there, but we're just slowly testing things. But I want people to know that you can go in there and create a posting of any game you want. I'm going to try to add some more soon, but it doesn't have to be a mod. A forum channel means like you want to talk about Arc Raiders. Probably no one's made that one yet. Create an Arc Raiders link in there, and then we can all talk about that there. What's really cool about a forum channel is we can talk about 100 different games, but it won't clutter up the Discord with 100 more channels.
Exactly.
So it's all under.
We're getting smarter.
It's all under the. Yeah, it's all under the video game center.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching tonight. And as in life and as in your game, get your reps in. Later, Guardians.
Have a good one. Yeah, zombie create whatever you want. I might even create like a bunch of stuff like maybe